into Brisbane, Totally Workwear Stadium. We're here live for Sun Bowl 40, American Football Queensland's National Championship. We've had the under 14s, we've had the under 18s. It's time for the adults. My name is Kate Ullman. I'll be bringing you all the action. It is the Rhinos up against the Ravens. Ravens, they've won 5 years in a row, but the Rhinos, they're looking schmick. They've already beaten the Ravens once this year. Can they do it again? Rhinos and Ravens competing here, Totally Workwear Stadium, for the big trophy, the Sun Bowl 40. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into Sun Bowl 40, American Football Queensland's championship game. All season has led up to this. It's been a long season, 2024. The Rhinos and the Ravens have made their way through, come out on top of the ladder, and are here to contest the trophy. The crowd is building at Totally Workwear Stadium. We're all excited. My name's Kate Ullman. I'm alongside an absolute star of the game and a real expert knowledge brain of football, Jeff McGoodwin, a wide receiver, formerly played under the most successful high school coach ever in Michigan. He's alongside me. Jeff, how are you feeling about the game?
I'm really looking forward to it, Kate. This is the 5th time that these teams have met in the last 6 years for the Sun Bowl, and the Ravens have come out on top 4 out of the last 5 years against the Rhinos. So really looking forward to see if the Rhinos can overcome a lot of that history and see if the Ravens can maintain their place atop the ladder.
Absolutely right. People tuning in, the headline is that the Ravens have won 5 times in a row. They are the 5-peat champions, looking to go another and get the 6-peat. The Rhinos, they have beaten the Ravens once this season, so they've already done it. They've got the confidence to do it again, and they might just be able to unseat the champions. I caught up earlier with a couple of the players to see about the game plan and whether that's going to unfold. Got Ryan Glasson here, centre for the Brisbane Rhinos. Ryan, how are you feeling about today's matchup?
Yeah, pretty excited. Definitely an awesome opportunity to play the Ravens again. We've had a few matches together, and I'm confident the boys can get the win today.
There's been a historic rivalry between your clubs, and most of the time the Ravens have come out on top in many of the last Sun Bowls. Is this the year that you finally get over them?
I certainly hope so. Things are definitely looking our way. We've got a young squad that's looking potentially, they're very, very talented, up-and-coming guys, and hopefully this is the year we can sort of have that youth overcome their sort of age and experience.
And what does your team need to do to ensure that happens?
We need to play mistake-free football, score a lot of points and stop them from scoring so many. They have a very prolific offense, and if we can sort of handle that, control the clock with our run game, we can come away with a victory.
Let's hope so. Good luck to you. Enjoy the game.
Thank you so much.
I've got Mitch Bessie here. He's usually a wide receiver for the Ravens, but he's been injured this season. Mitch, what happened?
Just an unfortunate injury, going up for a ball a few weeks ago at the really cool All-Star game where every team played north side of Brisbane.
Well, they'll be missing you out there today, but how do you think you're going to get up and get this 6-peat to occur?
We talk about it all the time. It's just doing the basics right. So it doesn't matter who's in on the field, it's next guy up mentality, and we've been doing it every year.
Is that the mentality that's got you this far over the past 5 years?
Yes and no. Our mentality is usually just effort, attitude, toughness, being in the right places, doing the right things as consistently as possible.
And what are the biggest threats that you see on the Rhinos?
It's obviously their import quarterback. He's quite a danger and going to be against any secondary, but we feel like our D-line and our secondary is up to the task, which they've proven already.
Well, they've proven it 5 times in a row. They're going for a 6-peat. 6th time to get one of these. And you'll have to stay tuned for this electric matchup. Sun Bowl 40, Ravens against the Rhinos.
For the season, the Brisbane Rhinos. Then we'll have the coin toss and we'll watch some awesome football.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the championship game. Sun Bowl 40, the end of a huge season in 2024 American football Queensland. This is the big one. The adults, the big boys, they are facing off. It's Bayside Ravens up against the Brisbane Rhinos. And the Ravens, we know, 5-time champions. They've taken home the trophy for 5 times in a row. And the Rhinos, they're looking to unseat them and take home the trophy today. It's Kate Allman here alongside Jeff McGoodwin, a former wide receiver all the way out from Michigan. He's been here in Brisbane playing and coaching himself. And what are the keys to this game do you see today, Jeff?
Yeah, for the Rhinos, Kate, the biggest thing is make each possession count. So in the Sun Bowl last year, they missed a field goal early, and then they had a couple attempts really where they were close to scoring, but they could not cash it in. And as a result, the Ravens were really able to take advantage of that game. The second thing they need to do is get pressure on the quarterback for the Ravens. Get pressure on Stegman. He's a bit of a legend here in the Southeast Queensland football leagues. So if you can make him uncomfortable early, you can really start to throw off that Ravens offense. And then the last thing is keep their mental state even keel the entire game. They've had a lot of history between these two teams. Obviously, the Rhinos have come up short the last couple of years. So as long as they can keep their edge mentally, then I think they have an excellent opportunity.
Great insights from Jeff McGoodwin. And you've mentioned the offensive power of both these sides. We see a couple of the captains there doing the coin toss and having a chat with the referees. A big thank you to our head referee, Andrew Calverley, who's been officiating for many years, since 1994. But in terms of the two quarterbacks, that is where the storyline starts to unfold. Hamish McClure for the Rhinos. He's new this year. He's come in from an international, was playing at University of Nevada, a D1 school, and he signed this year to play quarterback. He was coaching and assisting last year, but he's come in and he's really turned the fortunes around. As for the Ravens, they've got Jared Stegman, and you've mentioned how powerful he is.
Yeah, he's been a long-time legend. He's led the Ravens each of the times they've won the Sun Bowl. And the real question is, can Hamish McClure, first-time quarterback, rise to the pressure of this game? Obviously, he's got a lot of collegiate experience, and he's been a difference maker, bluntly, for the Rhinos this year. They've really been able to air it out more than in previous years, and so we'll see if that comes to fruition for Hamish and the Rhinos this year.
So you've just watched the coin toss. The Rhinos will kick off and the Ravens will receive. That will give the ball to Ravens quarterback Jared Stegman first. And you mentioned he's represented Australia. He's been an outback player. He's also played in Japan for the X-League, Silver Stars and semi-pro teams in Turkey, Sweden and Germany. And if you're interested, he's got a YouTube channel where he documents his adventures around the world playing as quarterback. It's fascinating stuff. He has so much experience, and he's really going to test the defense for the Rhinos.
Absolutely, Kate. And there's a question going into this game for Jared is how healthy is he? Because he was banged up a couple times over the past couple weeks, and even the game when the Rhinos did manage to sneak one over the Ravens, he wasn't at 100%. So if he is healthy at 100%, really you have to give the edge to the Ravens given their experience. But if he's a little bit banged up, that might open an opportunity for the Rhinos.
So here we go. Sun Bowl 40. It comes down to this. Rhinos in the red, grey and white. They will kick off first. And it looks to be Bailey Toddle who's setting up for the kick. Not too much wind here. Conditions have turned out to be almost perfect. It was raining earlier. It's dried up. Absolutely pristine. And what more could you ask for than a bowl game between two of the biggest champion clubs in Brisbane? Here we go. We are underway for this championship game. Massive kickoff. It's gone all the way up out the end zone. And so we will start at the 20-yard line with the ball in Jared Stegman and the Ravens' hands.
Yeah, that was Cam Young on the kickoff. He really booted that all the way out of the end zone. You don't see that too often in the Southeast Queensland League. So really big kick, and we'll see how the Ravens can get started with their offense from the 20.
Yeah, Cam Young, he used to be he actually plays wide receiver and defensive back, and he was playing in the BAFA League in the UK. So he's obviously been coached well with the kickoff and absolutely booted it almost all the way into the stadium stands. Jared Stegman in the huddle, and they will line up for the first time in this championship game. Number 10, he's got a running back alongside him. What will they bring out first? It's a quarterback run, and it's a nice one too. A little gain. He's all the way through. Somehow he's popped out, and he's going to get around the backs as well. All the way to the 38-yard line. Jared Stegman, and that was explosive.
That was a fantastic cutback. They start out in trips left, so normally you might think they might be trying to throw left. But what that does is it leaves a ton of space on the right side of the offense. And so he managed to find a gap, find a seam, did a great cutback. Rhinos really playing catch-up, trying to get there. And I think it was number 2 who ended up making the tackle for the Rhinos.
The speed of Jared Stegman. We know he has an arm, but he's got speed. He's going to hand off. No, he's going to fake. And swings it out to the right side and gets a yard or two.
Yep, that's just a bubble screen, a typical flare-out pass to a wide receiver amongst a trio of receivers out there.
It was Braden Quinn on the reception, tight end.
Pretty good first down play as well. Starting to really put the pressure on this Rhinos defense early on.
All of a sudden, they find themselves at the 35-yard line already, almost in the red zone, certainly in field goal territory. There looks to be
a free play.
A free play. Jared Stegman goes all the way. He wants it. He wants it all. He doesn't get it, but that will be a free play. As we noticed, there was an early jump from the Rhinos.
Yeah, so when the defensive line jumps before the snap, we call it a free play because basically the worst case scenario for the offense is they get a 5-yard penalty and they can move forward 5 yards. So what you'll often see is when the defensive line crosses, the quarterback will just air it out, and that's clearly what Stegman tried to do there. Just couldn't connect.
Almost did connect, though. It was a nice play. It tried to hit his receiver, Warwick Russell, and couldn't quite. The receiver's name is Russell. He's nicknamed Bones. He's smaller than most receivers and a little bit lighter, but pound for pound, one of the best in the country.
Absolutely, and he's been a big player for the Ravens for years. Had a big game in the Sun Bowl last year. Clearly one of Stegman's favorite targets, so I'd be looking to get the ball in his hands if I'm Jared.
So 2nd and short here in the first quarter. Ravens already in the red zone, playing for the 6th championship in a row. Stegman looks to toss it off, has to go himself. He does toss it off, dumps it down, and the receiver's out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
So he ended up hitting his running back out of the backfield there. So he faked the toss sweep, which kind of loosened up the defense a little bit. And then the linebacker just couldn't quite get over there. Good read by Stegman to make sure that he could get it out into the flat.
Nice tackle in the end by the Rhinos as well. 5 yards, or 10 yards even to the end zone here. 20, in fact. Can't read the numbers. Here they go. Handoff and a short gain. And they're actually dropped for maybe a loss there.
Yeah, really good penetration by the defensive line there. They managed to jump their gaps, and it almost looked like it was a little bit of a draw, but obviously the defensive line just overpowered that Ravens offensive line that play.
So they're going to huddle up here. A really important down. 2nd and 10. 20 yards to go to the end zone. Jared Stegman already showing why he is one of the best in the country. Stegman got a tailback behind him. Will he hand off? No, he's going to go to the air. Goes to that right side. Does get the receiver and the inbounds as well. Warwick Russell, one of his favourite targets. There's Bones coming up with a big play. It'll be a 3rd down and short.
Yeah, he just runs here about an 8-yard out route, and what the quarterback needs to do on an out route is get that ball way out in front of the receiver, and he put it there perfectly. Great catch, fingertip catch by Russell to stay in bounds and keep the chains moving for the Ravens.
So here's where they need to be clutch. 3rd down, very important. 3rd and 3.
Lining up in that pistol formation, Kate, where the running back goes directly behind the quarterback. The Ravens do that a lot.
3 receivers on the left. He's going to go himself, and he's met his match. The defense of the Rhinos, and Marley Broom, who's a rookie this year, sacks Jared Stegman.
That was a fantastic read by Broom there. Stegman was basically trying to key that defender, and he had the option to either toss it to his running back or keep it. He kept it, and Broom stayed in his rush lane and really made a huge defensive play for the Rhinos on this first drive of the game.
Massive play. Makes it a difficult decision. 4th down and 5 or 4, thereabouts. They're going to go for it. No field goals for the Ravens. They know this is going to be an explosive offensive battle. Need points on the board. Stegman. He's got to drop back a long way. He's going to be sacked for a loss. That's a huge sack. It was 35 and a friend from the Rhinos. Massive play by Jackson Collins, one of the captains on the defense.
And Davy Martin. Both the linebackers there were blitzing. They really wanted to get pressure on Stegman, talking to the coaches pregame. They brought it there on a critical play, and Stegman really just had nowhere to run. No time whatsoever to get a pass out.
Well, after all of the excitement and the electricity of Jared Stegman in his first couple of runs, that ends up being stopped in the red zone. No points on the board, and that is crucial in a championship game. You're going to hand it over now to Hamish McClure.
One of my keys for the Ravens in this game, Kate, was keeping Stegman upright, and they've already managed to get a little bit of pressure on him. So testing out the health of their quarterback. We'll see if the Rhinos can maintain that pressure next time. But for now, the ball's going to be in that former Division I quarterback's hands for the Rhinos.
So here he is, Hamish McClure, product of the University of Nevada. What can he do? First plays a handoff, hands it off to the running back, Riley Wood, and he's dropped for a loss.
Yep, so once again, good read by the defensive line there. Hamish tried to sell a bit of a fake pass to the outside because the Rhinos like to run out of spread. But really, it was just good read by the defensive line. Riley Wood, very talented running back, had nowhere to go on that play.
They've got big Ryan Glasson at center, who I spoke to before the game. He is so keen to get this win today. Lot of time for the quarterback. Gets it to a receiver on the edge. Riley Wood drops it. And that's called incomplete.
You know, McClure had all day to throw that ball. Really good coverage by the Ravens defensive secondary because he couldn't throw it deep. The only thing he had was that running back outlet, which was really a difficult pass all the way across the field. Good play by the Ravens defense to break it up as well.
If you watch that replay, you'll see the work of Luke Sow, an offensive lineman who's an absolute veteran. He's played for the Raptors, Rhinos, and the Spartans for multiple years. He is a real weapon on this offense for the Rhinos, and that kind of time, giving the quarterback that time, is going to be crucial and maybe a difference maker. McClure in the pistol. Heads to the skies. Left sideline this time. It's a clutch catch, and that'll move the sticks. Unreal, incredible reception.
Great route, great catch. That was just a curl route. He ran it to the perfect depth, Kate, to make sure that but when he was coming back to the ball, he was past where the 10-yard mark was. So that first down mark for the Rhinos. Really good route, really good throw.
Outstanding stuff. Raymond Latumahina. Oh, and here's a run play. He made it through to the second line and got to the 35-yard line. That's Riley Wood again, one of the best running backs and rugby league background.
Yeah, he's fantastic, really shifty back. Good job by the offense there. They've been passing the ball and then just decided to spice things up with a first down run out of the shotgun. Really good job by Riley to find some space there on the cutback lane.
They're playing fast under the guidance of Hamish McClure. Marching up the field, the Rhinos wants to go back to his man on the sideline, and that one was a dangerous ball, nearly grabbed by the Ravens as it was dropped by the receiver.
Hamish did a
Braden
little
Quinn.
pump. Yeah, sorry, Kate.
it was,
Hamish did a little bit of a pump fake there, and unfortunately the ball was just a little bit behind the receiver. He tried to throw back shoulder, and he couldn't quite adjust to that.
It was Thomas Hansen on the wide receiver. He'd like to get that one back. Tall man, Thomas Hansen. Here comes McClure. Steps outside, goes through the pocket. He's dropped. Dropped for a loss of 1. This will be a 3rd and long. And the Rhinos say, hey, whatever you can do, we can do just as well.
Great play by Ananil Thompson. He stayed in his lane. Hamish McClure can run the ball. He's pretty mobile. Really was going for it on the outside there, but just a great shoestring and lower body tackle by Thompson there.
The Ravens defense turning up in big games. They're known to do this. And what we thought would be an offensive battle is turning into a defensive battle early in the match. McClure, can he get through the pocket? He somehow got on the outside. He might even make it. Dives for the first down, and he'll get there. The referees say, move those chains.
All effort by McClure there. He spread out the entire defense. That was clearly a designed quarterback run to get the defense nice and spread out, and then he found a lane and really just pushed that extra effort to get those last 2 or 3 yards, keeping his knees above ground to get the first down for the Rhinos.
He's not the biggest QB you'll ever see, but an elusive one. And really, those legs are a massive weapon for the Rhinos. Oh, this is a big shot. Goes to the corner pylon. It was right there in the bread basket, and it was dropped. He'll really want that one back. Kevin Borzi, #1 wide receiver in Sweden, couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, Kevin's one of those imports that the Rhinos have managed to lure in from overseas. And he and Hamish have really developed a strong chemistry this year. They've taken a lot of deep shots together. Really just couldn't haul that one in. It was a pretty well-thrown ball. But the defender was also right there. I think he might have even gotten a hand on it.
Good defense again, and the last line of defense that time for the Ravens. They've shown they can blitz, and they can also stand up in the cornerback position. 2nd down and 10. Motion in the backfield. Here goes McClure, hand off to the running back. He's got no way through. A yard or 2 gained, but nothing there for Riley Wood.
Yep, generally just stout defensive line play there. That didn't look like there was much of a hole being made by the offensive line. And so Riley tried to get what he could, but it's going to bring up another passing situation for Hamish and this Rhinos offense.
So another 3rd and long. A difficult one for Hamish McClure in the end zone. The coverage tends to be tight. Going to have to make a crucial decision. It is all about decision making in championship games, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is where the Rhinos came up short last year in the red zone, Kate. So we'll see if Hamish can be the difference maker.
McClure putting the team on his back. He's going to go through the middle. Oh, and he's met and sandwiched by the Ravens defense. That was incredible. Number 15, Rhino Furi, the defensive back. He's represented the Sun Devils and showing his class there for the Ravens.
Yeah, Hamish really was taking a gamble there. I think he wanted his receiver deep, but the coverage was really just good. So he ended up trying to make a run for it, but really stout defensive line play. And then the linebackers came up from their second line and just absolutely crunched Hamish. Hopefully he's all right. He seems to be taking it on the chin like a football player does.
Yeah, he got up and walked it off, didn't he? He's a tough player.
4th down now, though.
4th and long, they're going to go. McClure got his eyes up early, sent it long early, and that's way out downtown. No one was in reach. In fact, Joshua Perrin from the Ravens nearly put a hand up to glove it down. And it'll be a turnover on downs. No score yet in this Sun Bowl.
I think Hamish was trying to hit Schlatter on a post route, but it looked like there might have been some miscommunication because Schlatter didn't quite have the lane that Hamish thought he did, and so he was trying to hit him, but ended up just overthrowing it out of the end zone. So no interceptions, but turnover on downs for the Rhinos offense.
You'd almost not mind if it was an interception in that position because they're going to turn over in the same spot anyway, although obviously interception can be returned. Nevertheless, here comes Jared Stegman, 2nd offensive drive of the game. Fakes a handoff, goes left. Receiver has space in front, but he's tackled quickly. A gain of about 2, and he's dropped by Alex Redgewell.
Yeah, and I think Hunter Wan was in there as well. Just a bit of a screen pass. They've done a couple of these bubble screens now, have the Ravens, and Russell caught that one. Got a little bit of room to maneuver on 1st down, but the defense was all over that. So
you're right, it was Hunter Harris 1. from the Rhinos that was in that tackle. Well called. Jeff McGoodwin, one of the absolute football brains of Brisbane. We're so lucky to have his analysis. Jared Stegman. Oh, nearly. Yeah, it's dropped. There's a juggle, and Zachary Perrin could not haul it in. And that'll make it third down.
That was almost a fumble, Kate. He had the ball and made a football move, and normally if the ball comes out after that point, it's a fumble. Maybe a questionable call by the referee there, but either way, the Ravens now are going to have another opportunity. So I guess he never really fully had possession, so that's a good call. Good call. I stand corrected. Incompletion on the outside.
It's like he lost it on the way in, didn't he? He spent it before he had it. So 3rd and 6 here for Stegman. Looked like an early jump. This might be a free play. He's going to loft it long. That's a great ball. Spinning. It's caught.
That's Russell.
Gem of a ball to Warwick Russell, the receiver. There's Bones, and Bones, no bones about it. He's a great player. Stood up in a great moment.
Great hard count by Stegman to try to lure in that defensive line, and someone from the Rhinos jumped, and therefore another free play. This time they do connect on a great catch by Russell there, with the defender draped all over him too.
A really tight coverage by Tayakusa Mamario for the Rhinos. But the Ravens move the sticks, and they're all the way up to the 25-yard line. Stegman. Handoff. Cuts through the running back. Christopher Farrar.
Jackson Collins made the tackle. Captain linebackers played in this game quite a few times now. Trying to soften up the defense with the Ravens there on just first down run up the middle after the big completion to Russell.
That completion to Russell Warwick, one of the highlights of the season, I'd say. There was such tight coverage, made the catch that much more impressive. I think there's a blitz coming. Jared Stegman says, watch out. Can drop back, send it to the left sideline. He's wide open. Had his receiver, Robert Corcutt. That's his first reception of the match. And a nice one. It leads them to the 10-yard line.
He's an enormous target for the Ravens. He's also played in this game many times before. And as that tight end, he can really catch the ball anywhere within about 2 meters if it's thrown to him because of that catch radius. And he just ran a quick out, and Jared hit him.
He found himself in an acre of space, uncovered. 1st and goal for the Ravens. No points on the board just yet. Stegman turned around the whole way to get it to his running back, and he's dropped Chris Farrar. I think there was a miscommunication there or something, Jeff, because he turned and did a 360 to hand off.
Well, sometimes quarterbacks do like to do little deceptions in the backfield. I think that time really just the defensive line made a good play, and Donovan Fain, the linebacker, came up, read it, did not give the running back an opportunity for a cutback.
2nd and goal, about 6 yards from the end zone, and the first points of this championship game. Free play. Someone's jumped. Jared Stegman's going to go to the end zone, and that's way out of bounds, but I think it will be coming back. There is a flag on the play.
Yeah, we'll have to see. It looks like, once again, a Rhinos player jumped, so they're going to have to be a bit more disciplined on the defensive line, watching out for those hard counts from Stegman. He's clearly such a veteran.
We didn't quite catch it, but I wonder if it was 91, the Rhinos, Marley Broom, who jumped early. He's a rookie, and those kind of championship game nerves can really affect you.
And he made a good play earlier in the first drive, but you don't want to be jumping off sides giving the other offense free plays. Now it's going to bring up, I think, a 2nd and really short. Not a lot of room for the Ravens to get through.
2nd and goal, 1 yard out from the end zone. You'd think they can run this in with Chris Farrar in the backfield. Stegman. Here it is for the Ravens. Stegman's going to go to the air. Nice little route, and it was caught and dropped almost through the fingertips of Robert Corcutt.
It was a good ball. He threw it up high where only Kako was going to get it. I think it just went off his fingertips, Kate. Just a little quick slant. Right there, what happens? Yeah, just off the tip of his fingertips. He had even half a step on his defender, so
really nice little route, wasn't it? A slant in.
Catchable ball. We'll see what the Ravens do now on 3rd and very short.
Jared Stegman is going to sneak it as he goes. Nearly dropped the ball there. They've said he's halted and stopped before the line, but he dropped the ball and nearly lost possession. Dangerous play there in the red zone.
Well, he went under center for the first time all game, so you do have to wonder about that center quarterback exchange in those situations, but I think he fielded it cleanly, found a little bit of a lane, but it looks like it's going to bring up a fourth down now, Kate. I don't think he got there.
He didn't get there. Fourth down, fourth and short. They want this. They want it bad. They want it first points. Now it's a fake. And there's a new quarterback in. Dives for the end zone. Robert Corcutt came in and took the snap. Was he stopped short? I haven't seen a signal yet. The referee is going to have a conversation. There's a yellow flag on the play, but you can watch this motion as Corcutt came under center. That was exciting.
Corcutt did that exact same play in the Sun Bowl last year. He starts in like a wingback position, goes in motion, and then goes immediately under center. And because he's such a big body, Kate, he is tough to bring down in the short yardage. He's really, really powerful, and I think he managed to stretch for that first down. But there's some laundry on the field.
We'll take a listen in and see if we can hear what the referee is saying. We do have them mic'd up. There might have been even 2 flags on the play. There was one close to the line of scrimmage.
And it's a fourth down and really, really short. Love the play call from the Ravens. Just put it in your beefiest guy's hands and see if you can work it.
There's no foul for an illegal shift. Result of play is a first down on the 1 yard line.
It started on the line of scrimmage, but he was clearly off as he went in motion.
So first down at the 1 yard line. They have 4 downs to get this in the first points of this championship game. Stegman, Farrar in the backfield. This looks like it might be a more conventional play. Snap to Stegman. He's going to go himself. Tosses it to Farrar, and there's an acre of space ahead. Touchdown Ravens! The first points of this Sun Bowl 40.
It was almost just a little bit of a quarterback option there, Kate. He clearly could have kept it, but decided to just give it to his running back, who found a lane. The defensive linemen and linebackers did not contain. They didn't quite stay outside. And as a result, yeah, tons of space there for the running back.
The rugby-style pass, and I love the celebration from Chris Farrar, a team captain, 34 years old, has represented the Sun Devils, earns that 6 points well. Here comes the point after touchdown. Matthew Gunn, the gunner, and he's good. 7 points to the Ravens.
So my second key for the game for the Ravens was get a lead early, Kate, because they've managed to keep the Rhinos at bay so many years in a row. You really wonder what the mentality is of the Rhinos, see if they can respond to this or see how they respond to at least the first real adversity of this Sun Bowl.
Well, that was all set up by the brilliant pass of Jared Stegman to Warwick Russell and put them in the red zone and in position to score, and then it was just guts and big men getting it over the line. Rhinos now a chance to return serve.
You also have to give Stegman a lot of credit. A lot of hard counts there, trying to lure that defensive line off sides, and he got at least 2 plays out of that, possibly a third. So you have to give him a lot of credit getting the free yardage where he can.
So Ravens to kick off now. It's a long ball. It's gone high into the night sky, and it's going to be returned. Here come the Rhinos. Got a lane. That's Calder Shanks. And he's dropped at about the 25-yard line.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how the Rhinos respond after that touchdown by the Ravens. There was a nice long drive by the Ravens, really good job moving the ball. And the Rhinos have had a good opportunity on the first drive, getting all the way down to about the 15-yard line. So they've proven they can move the ball. Can they finish? Can they actually get the touchdowns when it matters, and see how they respond?
They're going to huddle up. Calder Shanks, he was actually awarded league MVP a couple of years ago. He went to a D3 school and was a kicker there. So plenty of experience. Here comes Hamish McClure. Dumps it off sideways. Still not back at the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss. Or almost right at the line of scrimmage. Number 1, Riley Wood, couldn't get past the defense of the Ravens.
That was almost the same play that the Ravens just ran to score a touchdown there, where the quarterback had the option to either keep it or tossed it. Riley made the first guy miss, but then couldn't get past that second Ravens defender. Good job staying home by the Ravens defense there.
They're coached by Will Saxby, who's in his first outing as a head coach in the Sun Bowl. He thinks he can be the difference maker for the Rhinos. McClure drops back a long way, goes up the guts, and that was almost on. He had space well ahead of him, but he couldn't quite reel it in. Thomas Hansen.
Just too tall for Hansen. I mean, they've connected quite a few times previously. Was just a deep post, and Hamish just overthrew him just a little bit. He had a step on the defender, too. If he gets that ball just a little bit lower, Hansen could have been off to the races at that point. Maybe a missed opportunity for the Rhinos. Now they're stuck in 3rd and long.
He was out, Thomas Hansen. He had plenty of space ahead of him. He's a long-time Rhino, played Div 2 college, but his injury to his knee cut that journey short. Never made it to Div 1, but we're lucky enough to have him in Brisbane now in the American Football Queensland Championship game. Hamish McClure almost saw a gap through the pocket. Instead goes to the air. He's got a receiver, and this time he catches it. Thomas Hansen on the sideline.
That was just a really deep drag, Kate. Good job by McClure finding time, keeping that play alive, because he felt a little bit of pressure from the outside, kept it going. All the receivers kept on their routes, and he managed to hit Hansen, who's now walking off a little bit gingerly. Might need to take a break.
Well, that'll move the chains. A new set of downs for Hamish McClure at the 35-yard line. 7 points down in the first quarter. We're ticking down to quarter time. 20 seconds left on the clock. We might just get one more snap off here. McClure, handoff to the running back. He's got a lane and nearly got through, but he was pulled down. Riley Wood with a couple of yards.
That was a fantastic defensive play by Alex Redgewell there. If he didn't make that tackle, Riley's got at least a first down, but managed to contain him just for about a 2-yard gain on that second down.
So that'll be quarter time. They'll take a short break, the players. And we might even play you some interviews that we had earlier. We won't. Instead, we'll take a short break and we'll bring you the second quarter of this Sun Bowl 40 in just a moment. Stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Sun Bowl 40. This is the second quarter, and the ball is in the hands of the Brisbane Rhinos. Hamish McClure at quarterback. Handoff, and he's got a lane this time. Riley Wood is going to go through, gets the first down, and he's trucked over the sideline at the 45 or the 50.
You almost wonder if that was a late hit, but either way, great run by Wood on that 2nd and long. Made the first guy miss, second guy miss. Shook a lot of defenders there to get that first down for the Rhinos. No flags there.
Great work by the O-line to open that up for Riley Wood. Hamish McClure, fresh set of downs. Quick ball out to the sideline. Had a man open. He's got space. He's going to take it all. He's going to the 5. He's at the 10 even. And he's brought down finally out of bounds. An incredible catch by Kevin Borsey.
Yeah, that was a very risky throw. The defender almost got the interception because it was a long throw, trying to get it out to the sidelines over the head. And you'll see the defender almost had it. He even got a half a hand on the ball, but great reel in by Borzai. Really strong hands to progress that ball and then obviously try to fight through the tackle for extra yards.
Really juked the defender there, didn't he? And the first step was clutch. Then had an acre of space ahead of him. Here they go in the red zone, the Rhinos, for the first time this game. McClure is going to go himself. He's got so much space, going for the corner pylon, and he's in. Touchdown, Brisbane Rhinos. They get 6.
Hamish loves to keep it. That was just a classic quarterback keeper. He likes the ball in his hands. Really huge response from the Rhinos after that long Ravens drive, keyed by some of those penalties. A couple big passes. And in this case, he really was just searching, but that was clearly designed quarterback run the whole way.
Great play by the quarterback from the D1 school in University of Nevada. They're going to go for the extra point now. The kick by Fletcher. In fact, it's by Edward Kokwa. And it's good. Oh, it's no good.
There's a penalty. We'll have to see what the penalty's for. Just counting defenders. The Ravens might have had 12 guys out there.
So the kick was good by Edward Kokwa.
You can see the back line judge there throws the flag almost right away as soon as they snap the ball. So that tells me it might have been a penalty's declined. Yep. All right.
So they've declined the penalty, and the extra point is good. It is all tied up here in the second quarter. We'll get that fixed on your screens, but the scoreboard here at Totally Workwear Stadium is 7-7. Exactly what we'd want for a championship game.
Huge response by the Rhinos. Really, we were wondering if they were going to get in their shell mentally like they have in previous championships. But all the players were telling me before the game, this year feels different. This team feels different. And we'll see if they can maintain that edge throughout the game.
Kickoff coming by Cameron Young. The product of the BAFA League in the UK, knows how to play wide receiver and defensive back, and here he is to kick off. It's a low one, and it's gone hard and long at the Ravens. They're going to return it. Here they come. 25 yards, 30. He's got space, and he's got jets, doesn't he? All the way to the 35-yard line, and he's dumped.
There's Warwick Russell. He kicks, he catches, he returns. He does just about everything for this Ravens team. But there is some laundry on the field once again. Looks like it's going to be against the Ravens. Might bring this one back, unfortunately, for them after a great return by Russell.
Well, the catch at the start as well was impeccable. It came hard like a rocket at his chest. He made his way all around, some good blocks. And then finally taken down after he was slowed down at the 35. It's a nice return, nevertheless. But a hold on the Ravens as they returned. And that often happens when the lane is that good, yep. Jeff. Sometimes it's because someone was holding on a little too long.
And there was 2 fouls in that play. The first one was a personal foul. Looked like helmet-to-helmet contact, might have even been targeting, but the Rhinos ended up accepting the hold because it gives them a better advantage defensively, pushes the ball back even further because it was a spot foul. So really good decision-making by the coaches of which penalty to accept in that regard.
So Jared Stegman back at quarterback. One of the most electric players you'll see in American football in Queensland. A run around is no good. They lose a couple of yards, and there's more yellow laundry on the field. Zach Perrin just couldn't get around to the edge and turn upfield.
Yeah, that was basically a jet sweep, Kate. So they send the receiver in motion and try to get the ball to him very quickly. The idea there is to get your receiver in full momentum with the ball before the defense has a chance to adjust. But in that case, I think number 53 just had a little bit of a block in the back and a hold, and that's going to set the Ravens back.
Tackle made by Tai Kusamamario. Someone tell me if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's a difficult one, but a great player, and he's made a couple of incredible defensive stops that have been crucial.
Yeah, one of the young Rhinos. There's a lot of youth on this team, and as a result, they might not have a lot of the same history against the Ravens as some of the other players. So mentally, they're perhaps a little bit fresher, not as frustrated by some of the failures in the past.
So there's a 5-yard penalty, and we'll replay the first down. Ravens back marched towards their own end zone after that impressive
10-yard penalty, really setting them back.
The impressive return, all lost. So now Jared Stegman is going to do something special. He goes hard and slings it out wide.
Tried to find Russell on just a crossing route. Threw it a little bit high, a little bit behind his receiver. Tough play to be made. Yet more laundry on the field, Kate. It's starting to become a battle of who can avoid penalties.
It tends to happen in championship games as O-lines, D-lines get tired. There are mistakes that occur, aren't there? And this is no good for the Ravens, who are now deep in their own territory. Another 5 or 10 yards, or almost putting them back in their own end zone. Then you got to be careful of a safety.
Yeah, at this point, I think any penalty is the most you could get is half the distance between where they are and the goal line, and you can just keep chipping away halves and halves until your feet are basically on the goal line. Decline that. Another hold for the Ravens, also declined.
So it's 2nd and 20 for the Ravens, who are now backed up really close to their own end zone. Jared Stegman's going to have to get rid of this fast. Stegman makes his reads, goes to the right side, and that's going to be a tackle quickly. He escapes instead, and he's on his way, Matthew Gunn, up to the 25-yard line.
That's Russell again.
It's Warwick Russell. You're right. I saw the 87, not 81.
Mr. Do-It-All for the Ravens. Love the design there. The offense knew that the defensive lineman was going to be coming with pressure, so they just do a bit of a screen pass out to the outside. You can see one of the linemen pulled. Russell made a great move on the defender. If he gets past that first defender, you can see the chunk yardage that he ended up with.
Still, Russell has been absolutely everywhere on the offense so far. Jared Stegman's favourite in clutch moments. Going to go the same way. They get the man, and upfield goes the tight end. Lovely reception by Robert Corcutt.
He's run a few of these out routes, and as I said earlier, he is a big target. He's tough to defend. Really good job by Stegman, hesitating just enough until he waited for his receiver to get open. And tough time by the Rhinos defense catching up with him.
So first down, the chains move up, and it's 35 yards for the Ravens. Jared Stegman, handoff. Running back, no, it's a fake. I lost sight of the ball, but in the end, it was dropped for an incompletion by Braden Quinn.
Yeah, like the design, it was basically just a quick screen out where you fake the handoff to the running back to try to suck the linebackers in and distract them. But he got that ball out just a little bit low for his receiver. Tough to do when you're running towards the receiver and throwing it in that same direction. So tough ball, tough catch, and unfortunately for the Ravens, bit of a drop, and they'll be stuck in second and long now.
Another 2nd and 10 for Stegman and his Ravens. Looking to go 6 for 6 in the Sun Bowl. He keeps it himself, fake the handoff, finds a way through. He's just got to beat one more. It's a foot race. He's turned the Jets on. Jared Stegman to the house. Touchdown, Ravens.
Unbelievable play from Stegman, the leadership that you would expect from a guy who's been here before. Great read by him. They ended up pulling the right guard around, so it was clearly a designed run to try to find some space on the left side. And Stegman really just read it well, blitzed through that defense. A couple missed tackles by the Rhinos. They're going to want that back. Bailey Toddle, Val Tetamonte, both very sure defenders, but unfortunately let Stegman get through him on that time.
I tell you what, Stegman at full pace is a frightening prospect for this Rhinos defense. Here comes the point after touchdown, but we just saw a glimpse of what's made him an incredible player around the world. And that looked good to me. It looks good to the referees. They are 7-up the Ravens in the second quarter.
So much for my concerns about his health, Kate. He looks pretty full speed right now, I must say.
Did you see the rate of the knees and the leg turnover? I bet that guy runs a 40 in about 4.3. He's got to be one of the fastest on the field, and the way he accelerated through the pocket to spring out like a jumping jack, gee, that makes it tough to defend.
Yeah, absolutely. When you know he can air it out and beat you with his legs, that's a very dangerous thing for a defense to try to plan against. Great read by Stegman on that. Just followed his blockers and really hit the afterburner. Pretty good for a guy who's 35.
Unbelievable. Hope I'm doing that at 35.
I can tell you I wasn't doing that at 35, Kate, so.
Here comes the kickoff They just get a new ball and a referee delivers it. We've got an impressive officiating crew, in fact. It's led by Andrew Calvary. We've got Nigel Law as umpire, Pat Humphreys, Andrew Stock on line judging. Here's the kickoff. High under the lights, difficult to see. It's going to be returned. Gets to the 20,
Shanks.
the 30. Oh, he's got space. He's got space and time. Makes a move. To the 40. There's no one going to stop him. One last tackle might do it, but it won't do it. They go straight back. Calder, Shanks, all the way to the house. There's a flag on the play near where he caught the ball. But if not, that's 7 points as a response. Calder Shanks ran the entire length of the field, and the crowd hates the yellow flag.
They will have to bring that back. It is a spot foul. It looks like the flag was thrown at about the 24-yard line. A block in the back, yeah, right there, I think by number 1. I think that was Riley Wood who blocked a guy in the back, which gave Calder a bit of an opening. And he made the most of the opportunity, absolutely. He's probably huffing and puffing right now. But a bit of a disappointing ending for the Rhinos on such a potentially huge play.
What a run by Calder Shanks. He's the ultimate utility player, been used in multiple positions as a backup quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver. And there he is on special teams making a play.
He's experienced. He's played a lot of offensive positions. So the guy knows what he's doing with the ball in his hands. And unfortunately for the Rhinos, really just a costly penalty.
So the kick return touchdown will be rubbed out, and they will restart at the 15-yard line, which is really going to hurt. Rhinos would have loved to get those points. Here's Hamish McClure. Hand off to the running back. Skips around the first line of defense, and he's brought down Riley Wood. Lost the ball, but I think he was already down.
Yep, so the Rhinos do like running these shotgun draws or just shotgun dives, and they trust Riley Wood because he's had the ball so many times in his hands, and he's very, very shifty behind the backfield, so managed to find a lane and really just get enough for that first down.
McClure goes to the air. Sideline ball. It's too high this time for Kevin Borzai. He's the number 1 receiver in Sweden, but he's not tall enough for that.
Yeah, unless you're about 8 feet tall, I think that's the only way you're catching that ball. Bit of a risky throw from Hamish into double coverage. Good read by the Ravens defense to really put the focus on that number 1 receiver.
Yeah, there was double coverage, but I felt like if it was a little lower, he actually had gap. It was quick release that got there. Tough one to reel down.
I wonder if Borzai came up a little limp there too. I almost wonder if he couldn't have gone. Showed us with the 40-inch vertical leap would be able to bring that down.
McClure, handoff this time. Running back's got it. That's Riley Wood. Wood gets through. Down to the 43. That's a nice gain. That'll move the sticks, and plenty of action on the sideline. A yellow flag as well on the play. Did you see what happened there, Jeff?
I always fear a hold on the offense on long runs like that, and it looks to be the case once again. So sometimes when there's a gap that big, it's because the offensive linemen are holding.
Well, the sideline, the Rhinos bench are all up on their feet. Every electric play is getting them up, and every single one seems to be coming back for some kind of hold.
You know, I'll admit I did see a bit of a hole, but I think it was kind of after the play, after Riley had already found the lane to be able to progress the ball there. Blocking the back.
So it'll be 2nd down and 10. It was a block in the back, as you said, after the play. Unnecessary, really. And then when the running back's already found his way out, you just hate to see that. A coach killer. There's the sideline of the Rhinos. They are up and about. They all got off their feet for those previous 2 plays. First, the kick return, and then that one.
They're just shooting themselves in the foot. They've had some big plays, big opportunities that unfortunately they haven't been able to capitalize because of some of these really silly errors. We'll see how Hamish can respond with the rest of the offense.
Chasing the game, the Brisbane Rhinos. Hamish McClure need to stop the Ravens from getting 6 in a row, and that's not going to do it. Dropped for a loss of 3.
That was fantastic team defense by the Ravens. All of their defensive linemen and their linebackers completely shuffled as one to get over there and prevent Hamish from having any opportunity to either take it himself or to pitch to the running back, which was the design of that play. Good job by the D-line, good job by the linebackers, all flowing to the ball.
So a third and very long coming up for Hamish McClure, and this is his chance to show why he is labelled one of the best in Brisbane, if not the country. The D1 school product out of Nevada, signed to the Rhinos this year to assist with the offense and really turn this team around, takes them all the way to the championship. Now's his time to stand up and show his value. Big drop back. He's got to get around. Oh, here's the pressure. The blitz coming, and it's dropped him. The final drop made by Thomas Izako, but there are 3 players from the defensive line from the Ravens involved.
What I think you'll find there is that's a coverage sack. So Hamish had a little bit of time early on to get the ball out, but didn't see anyone. The Ravens clearly did a good job defending. Then he tried to scramble, and really, once you start doing that, you're begging for issues, and the rest of the Ravens really just finished him off there. Number 15, good job in pursuit, Thomas Isako.
Hamish McClure has looked good when he's released the ball early, and every time he's going through the reads twice, that tends to occur. This ball's not gone as far as the punter would have liked. It'll bounce, though. It's bounced kindly to about the halfway mark and picked up by the Rhinos. So a positive field position for the opposing quarterback, Jared Stegman, to take the ball.
You wonder about the Rhinos in a situation like this where they get that huge kick return and everyone is so amped, and then they immediately lose that. Then they have a big first down, immediately lose that because of the penalties. It's almost like the offense was a little bit deflated. We'll see if the defense can pick it up, because we know that the Ravens are dangerous. Stegman's proved it time and time again.
Momentum swings, and momentum is such a huge factor in championship games. In your experience, Jeff, as a player and a coach, how crucial is it to hold on to momentum?
Well, look, these guys, they're not professionals, so they are emotional, they're young, and momentum is very much a factor when you're playing in these types of games.
Stegman through the air. He's got a man wide open. Robert Corcutt. He's going to go all the way. Something out of nothing. Before the Rhinos could blink, the Ravens, another 7 on the board through Robert Corcutt, the big tight end.
He's made some big catches for them. That was just a busted coverage by the Rhinos. I think they got lost with some of the routes where they were crossing. We'll have to see exactly where Corcutt started out. But good read by Stegman. I think maybe the linebackers just got sucked in by that play action. And Corcutt, great catch, great run after the catch. And, number 20 from the Ravens, Cowles, simply couldn't catch up to him.
So it's a 2-score game now. The Ravens go 2 touchdowns up. Here's the point after touchdown. This will put them ahead 14. The kick is good. So the scoreboard reads 21-7 to the 5-time repeat champions, the Ravens, defending champions, looking to etch their name in a 6th trophy here at the Sun Bowl. Rhinos, a lot of work to do. 6 minutes left in this first half.
Yeah, we'll really have to see how the Rhinos can respond. That was the first play after that punt, that deep pass to Corcutt. So Ravens have had some big plays, the long run by Stegman, the long catch by Warwick, and then the long catch by Corcutt. So the Ravens have done a really good job with their explosive plays. We'll really have to see if the Rhinos can respond. They get the ball back straight away. They got another opportunity to do so.
You could see it on the faces of the Rhinos on the sideline, that momentum that they did not execute from. They no score from all that play. Going to receive the kickoff here, and they will return it. It's Calder Shanks. Gets through the first line, makes a gap, good blocks. It's finally brought down. The ball is out, though. It's recovered, I believe, by Jackson Collins, and the Rhinos will keep it. But that was a nervous moment. You almost thought Calder Shanks was going to do the same thing, a repeat touchdown return. Instead, lost the ball.
We got a player down on the field as well, Kate, but I didn't see any penalties there. There is a flag on the field. We'll have to see what it's for. Good run by Shanks. Good second effort. Good stiff arm to create some space between him and the defender. He definitely lost the ball at the end, but luckily, man of the moment, linebacker Jackson Collins, the veteran, managed to fall on it to keep possession for the Rhinos.
It was a great tackle by Alex Redgewell of the Ravens, who managed to knock the ball out of his hands. There is a player down for the Ravens. They're going to check him out. And there is also a foul on the play by the Rhinos. So while we check out, that's number 20 for the Ravens, Blake Hatchman, the defensive back. We hate to see that. Hopefully he's okay. Worried looks in the crowd, but I think also the anxiety of a championship game on their face. Great turnout here at Totally Workworth Stadium.
Yeah, it looks to be a lower body injury. They're looking at his knee and his ankle, and the way he's limping off the field, it's got to be something that right leg isn't quite where it's supposed to be. And injuries are a common part of football. We'll see if the Rhinos can respond now after another good kick return by Calder Shanks.
They're a part of football, certainly, and both teams are suffering injuries.
Now, if you're wondering about that penalty, it was a substitution penalty after the play. It looked like a Rhinos player either went out too early or maybe even touched the ref. They have to stay a few yards behind the line, behind where the referees are, and every once in a while they get warned, and yeah, they got dinged for 5 yards there.
Here go the Rhinos. Hamish McClure out wide to Kevin Borzai, who's dropped at the 40-yard line. No gain, or if it is, it'll be a gain of about half a yard.
That was a great play by Alex Redgewell, the linebacker. He stayed in his lane. He didn't get caught up with the blocking wide receiver there on that outside screen. And Borzai made a nice catch, tried to cut underneath, but Redgewell was right there to make the tackle. Ravens
showing they can play offense and defense equally as well. Rhinos struggling to get going. 5 minutes left in the first half. McClure, handoff. And a yellow flag on the play on that one. You wonder what that was about, as the running back gets dropped for a yard gain of about 2.
I think someone on the Ravens got a little bit handsy, and oh no, it's a hold on the offense once again. Rhinos shooting themselves in the foot once again with penalties.
The referees will have a chat about it, but it does look like the Rhinos have marched themselves back, and when a team does that, you sort of expect that it will be a penalty on them, and it was a new running back in this time for the Rhinos.
That's a hold. They're counting it off.
Looked
10 yards.
Fuamoli in the running back position now. Bit of a bigger body, possibly trying to punch his way through.
Yeah, Gira is the thunder to Riley Wood's lightning, if you will. He's much more of a bigger body that's just going to try to smash you, whereas Riley will try to work around you.
Handoff to Gira once more. Fuamoli. He's stopped. There's a scrum at the line of scrimmage. They're pushed down for a yardage gain of 2.
Yeah, trying to just on a little bit of a halfback draw, seeing if they can work back some of the yardage that they lost during the penalty. And it looks like Gira lost his helmet as well, so he's going to have to come out and substitute.
So when the helmet comes off, they do have to substitute for 1 snap. That is the rule internationally.
I think he also got clocked. He's looking a little winded. He might have got the wind knocked out of him.
Probably a bit tired after 2 heavy runs. A lot of contact in both of them.
3rd and long.
3rd and long. McClure, big drop back, goes to the air, sideline ball. Oh, just bolted him down. Cameron Young got squashed into the turf, and knee went down instantly. The big shoulder from the defense.
That was a good catch by Cam Young there. He just ran a bit of a deep out. Hamish put it in front of him. Now, unfortunately, he's short of the sticks, but they must have been making the calculation that this was 4-down territory.
Yeah.
They need some momentum, so they were going to go for it regardless of whether or not they got to the first down.
I think at this point, probably any is 4-down territory. They know how powerful Jared Stegman can be. They need to get 7 points. 3 is not going to do it.
Absolutely. They got another bigger body back in there.
Timeout taken by the offense, and a good time to do so. The crowd getting involved now as well. There's plenty of energy and passion in this game.
Hamish tried to do a hard count there to try to see if the defense would jump as well, which you often see on a lot of 4th and shorts for an offense because they can just get free plays if the defense jumps. Now, Ravens, to their credit, very disciplined. They did not bite and forced the Rhinos to take a timeout and reassess.
So there's head coach Will Saxby in his first outing as a head coach of the Sun Bowl. He's coached in juniors and different levels. He was also coaching the national team at the World Cup in July. And here he is in the Brisbane American Football Queensland Championship. What do you think he'd be saying to his players there, Jeff?
I think he's really trying to make sure that they stay in the game. They don't lose focus. They've been...
Yeah, good.
And the penalties are really would have chewed up their potential as an offense. Now, I also know they're really just going to want to try to push the ball. They got 2 yards to go. I would expect something probably not through the air, maybe to the outside, if not really just on the ground up the middle.
So here they go, 4th and short. Hamish McClure's going to take it himself, put the team on his back, got the first down, got outside, and out of bounds. And the sideline are on their feet. There's a yellow flag came in late. I believe it might be a late tackle there, roughing the passer.
He was absolutely helped out by number 22, Lennox Samoa. Gave a huge block on the defensive end to spring him free. Watch 22 here. Huge block on the defensive end. Finds some space. Hamish works his way to the outside, and it looked like it might be a late hit. Was he already out of bounds? Oh, yeah, he had already taken a step out of bounds before the contact was made.
And his teammates are not happy about it either. And you love to see that brilliant passion in the game, and this is the defensive penalty. That'll give them some extra yards, which is great. And whatever was said by Coach Will Saxby seems to have worked. Put a rocket under the butt of Hamish McClure. Now, I had a chat with Will Saxby, and we will hear from him at halftime with that interview, as well as Pete Brewer, the coach of the Ravens. Just so great to have access to these coaches and players. A big thank you to the clubs for allowing us into the locker rooms. And you were in the locker rooms earlier, and you might be able to share some of those insights in a little bit, Jeff, as we watch this first down. Rhinos entering Ravens territory. Big ball lofted to the end zone. And it's in the hands for a touchdown. Kevin Borsey. He gets on the scoreboard, and the Rhinos claw one back.
They caught him in man coverage. McClure loves that deep fade to Kevin Borzai. As I said, they've really had really strong connection all year on those exact type of passes. Perfect ball from Hamish, right over the top of the defender. And fantastic catch by Borzai. Got a little bit of hands, but kept both feet in bounds, kept the hands on the ball, and just a fantastic catch.
Jordan Desbro at cornerback for the Ravens had him well covered, but there was a late push-off and he got the hands up. It was absolutely perfect by Borzai.
Looks like it wasn't enough to get a penalty. Once that ball's in the air, you're allowed a little bit of contact, nothing too flagrant. I think good job by the referees keeping the penalty flag in the pocket there. But
might be what they're talking about, in fact.
I think there's a Raven down behind the end zone. I don't know if we can get the camera out there, but I think we're paused right now for a substitution.
Yeah, it is actually that cornerback, Jordan Desbro, who came down hard on the defense. He seems a little banged up, at least unhappy about the situation. There was a little bit of hand fighting going on, so I wouldn't have said it was either way too intense.
Hopefully it's just his pride that's hurting right now.
Well, this is going to make it interesting. Point after touchdown makes it a one-score game. It's no good. He skewed it right, and so it is still a two-score game with 3 minutes on the clock in the first half of this Sun Bowl.
Yeah, another missed opportunity for the Rhinos there. Now, if they do get another touchdown, they would have the option to go for two, but it looks like we got a penalty. They might re-kick.
So a penalty on the Ravens will give them another try at this, and it even moves them closer to the 1 yard line. They have a chance to possibly go for two, but I think they'll just take the point. In that situation, what's the mindset? 2 points or one?
Well, look, you get close. I think you really want to give your kicker another chance to redeem his error. Now, tough snap.
Kokwa on the tough snap. Got it up and through. It's good for 1 point. And it's a one-score game. Ravens and Rhinos head-to-head in Sun Bowl 40.
Great job to corral that snap by Max Schlatter, the holder. It was really high, but he managed to get it down just in time for Max to get that kick up and through. So, Edward to get that kick up and through. So good response by the Rhinos. We were wondering how they would be, how their mindset would be, and that was a really, really forceful response by that offense.
Well, Hamish McClure just showed us why he is one of the up-and-coming names in American football down under. That ball was pinpoint perfect. And bullseye above the head catch, got the toes in. Unbelievable.
They've had a handful of those exact same plays throughout the year. Where
Highlight
the
reels.
deep fade, yeah, absolutely.
There's the tense look on the face of some Rhinos and Ravens fans as the stands pack out to watch the second half. 3 minutes to go in this first half. The kickoff coming by Cameron Young. Young boots it long and a go out the back for a touchback.
Don't want to give Warwick Russell, the opportunity to have a big return. So
That's
Cameron
true.
Young does a big leg. If you can get it over him, you might as well take the shot.
Well, we've seen the danger of kick returns, haven't we? And all of the returns have been pretty good. They've been at least 15 yards. Penalties have brought them back. And there's the tension in the Rhinos bench. Sideline, no one really sitting down. Everyone on their feet for these last 3 minutes.
I think the defensive coordinator, Connor, is really going to have to try to rein in his defense. The last 2 plays, they've allowed touchdowns to the Ravens. So we'll have to see how they adjust to the Stegman and Cawcut show right now. And Russell.
2 quarterbacks going blow for blow. Bring in Jared Stegman, 35 years old. Plays in his absolute prime. International star. Goes left. And there's a gain of 5 yards. Nice first reception.
That's Russell again, just a quick screen to the outside. Good job by the inside receiver blocking to give Russell a little bit of space. Managed to get 4 or 5 yards on first down. Not a bad way to start the drive.
2nd and 5. Stegman in the pistol. He's going to hand it off, and this time they'll get through. A gain of 5. That might be enough to move the sticks. Referees having a look. It'll be about whether they point it. Yep, so they'll move the sticks.
Great second effort by the running back there. He was hit short of the sticks, but managed to keep his momentum going forward and gain just enough positive yardage to get first down for the Ravens.
That's Chris Farrar with the gain. Now at the 30-yard line, the Ravens. Stegman wants to go quickly. Moves outside the pocket. Big ball high into the air. Has Perrin. Zachary Perrin at the 20-yard line. Got the feed in. That's a catch. And a highlight reel play. Another one for the Ravens to add.
Rhinos defense really caught off guard there. They were trying to substitute late. They had a defensive lineman that was hustling off the field right before the snap, and it looked like the cornerback just could not get there in time to catch up with that receiver. Good throw by Stegman. Great catch over the shoulder by Perrin. Another big play for the Ravens offense.
Beautiful catch by Zach Perrin. 20-year-old receiver. It's his first year in the men's competition, and he looks well and truly at home with plays like that. They move all the way up into the red zone, starting now at the 10-yard line. Looks like a timeout will be taken. They might just reposition the ball.
Yeah, we'll have to see how the Rhinos defense adjusts. I talked to their secondary coach, Graham Spur, who wanted all of his defenders to keep the play in front of you, But right now it's the Ravens getting behind the defense.
1st and goal. Stegman goes to the corner route again. It's knocked away. Great defense by Hunter Harris won from the Rhinos.
That was all Hunter. He was right there on Cawcut, that big target. Stegman tried to get it up high, but Harris turned his head, got a mitt on the ball, and really just a great defensive play.
Batted away just in time. It was tight coverage as well, as you say, an uneven matchup in terms of body size, but got in the air and did enough.
Collicutt's a huge target, so good job by Hunter there to stay with him. Make a play on the ball.
Second and goal. Ravens. Jared Stegman hands it off, and the running back's got someone in front of him. It's a touchdown.
Delayed draw to the running back. They've been spreading him out, passing all over the place. Really good play call by the Ravens. I think their center pulled, and really just the running back followed that lead blocker and was hardly touched getting into the end zone.
Terrell Butcher adds 7 points to his scorecard. 20-year-old running back has played for the Outback national team, and look at this. The block ahead was absolutely perfect by Matthew Ole.
Yeah, it was the left guard, Matt Ole, pulling to the right. Just a little bit of a counter move, counter draw. And great job by the running back following that lead blocker. Good job by the Ravens. Execution in the red zone right now. The big play burned the Rhinos, and then they finished it off with a touchdown.
Timeout taken by the Ravens before the point after touchdown. They're 27-14. This will make it a 2-score game. And a big hello to everyone who showed up here at Totally Workwear Stadium. You'll be on the stream. Catch yourself later. You're taking a photo of yourself, which is always fun. A bit of inception there. But it's been a big crowd, and it's getting more vocal as we go. Obviously, first half nearly in the books, second half coming. It's a 2-score game currently. Ravens in the lead are looking to claim their 6th title in 6 years, which is a stat that is impressive across any code.
Yeah, high-scoring affair for the first half as well. Much more high-scoring than a lot of the previous outings between these two teams. I think once the rain settled down, both offenses have clearly shown that they want to get airborne. They want to throw the ball. Both Stegman and McClure really trying to air it out right now. And so it might just become a battle of which secondary can stay healthy, stay locked in, and stay close to their defenders.
And how important is mindset now for the Rhinos as well?
Well, right now, the Rhinos have not shown an ability to stop Stegman or this offense. They've just marched down the field the last 2 or 3 times. They're going to have to try to change up some of their coverages if they're going to really have a chance to stick with this Ravens team.
Here comes the extra point. And it's good. So Ravens 28-14 with 2 minutes 20 on the clock in the first half. An explosive championship game so far. Really, 2 quarterbacks who are the best in the country going head-to-head. It's Jared Stegman against Hamish McClure. Stegman earning 7 there. Now McClure gets his chance to respond before halftime.
Big plays, big plays, big plays. We'll have to see. We might be in for another special teams big play. We've had a few of those, so I know the Ravens have to be on their toes because Calder Shanks has really shown an ability to get that ball in space, moving on these kicks after touchdowns.
The kicks have been pretty clean so far for both teams. The kickoff coming here from the Ravens.
I have to wonder if these guys aren't getting a bit gassed with how much they've been scoring up and down the field. There's not been a lot of defense, a lot of movement of the offenses.
It's a nice kick, lands at the 10. It'll be returned. Got a blocker in front, but there's thousands of players in front, it seems. He heads out of bounds. Calder Shanks once more. Dropped at the 40-yard, and there is a flag on the play.
I don't know how many of our kick returns have ended without flags, unfortunately, Kate, but good return by Calder. We'll see if he was helped out by a little bit of unfriendly play there by the Rhinos.
Hunter Harris, one, is shaking his head. It might have been him, and he may know it. I think this one's coming back.
They're marching it off right now. We'll see. That's 4. I think it must have been a hold because that'll be a 10-yard penalty. So the Rhinos, once again, good return, nullified by penalty. So just making it extra long field for the Hamish McClure-led offense.
Calder Shanks' stat card should be about triple what it will be at the end of this game because all the yards that he's gained will be burned up by penalties.
Yeah, he'd probably be at $150 right now without the penalties, but probably sitting at about 20.
He'd easily be that with the kick return, touchdown, handoff. First yardage gain, gets the first down, and gets out of bounds. Riley Wood moves the sticks.
Good job bouncing it out there on just the toss sweep. He managed to get hit early on, but managed to keep fighting, get to the outside. The defense couldn't quite set the edge there, and really just a good run by Wood to keep those feet moving, keep pushing on, and get just enough to move the chains with just a few minutes left in this half.
So we just ticked over 2 minutes. No 2-minute break, no 2-minute warning in this game. We play through, so the teams have to use their timeouts and use them wisely. Hamish McClure wants 7 points back, goes himself, gets through the first line of defense, but he's bundled up at the second. He gets to the 40-yard line, or thereabouts.
Looks like we got a Ravens down. I think they're going to stop the clock for an injury. Good read by McClure there. That was a speed option, so he starts in a sprint and has the option to try to pitch it out to the running back on that play. We'll see again. You'll see he just starts charging the moment he gets the ball, and then just cuts upfield, managed to find a lane and take what he could get, which is about 7 on first down.
Yeah, great decision. Stuck his foot in the ground and got downfield. Now, a timeout taken here by the Rhinos as they have a discussion with their head coach, Will Saxby.
I'm not sure if they took the timeout, Kate, or if we have an injury timeout. Adam Clark, the defensive end, has been down.
There was a timeout taken before that.
Okay,
I think that the Rhinos are trying to stop the clock and keep most of the time on the board so they can march upfield. But 48 for the Ravens looks to be injured. You're absolutely right. Adam Clark, we hope he's okay. He seems to be walking off on his own steam, so that's always a good sign.
Minute and a half. We'll see what Hamish can do in the spread offense for the next little bit.
It's been an electric game so far. A high-scoring affair. 28 on one side of the scoreboard already. We're not even at halftime. Might be another timeout taken here.
Yeah, once again, they were trying for a late substitution. One of the defensive linemen should not have been there and was trying to sprint off before the Rhinos snapped the ball and got the free 5 yards. So good job using the timeout there by the Ravens.
So Ravens take their timeout, and there'll be a little more time for the Rhinos to catch a drink. There's a look at some of the coaching staff. It's a hot night here in Brisbane. You've got to remember we play in summer in Australia. It is warm, 28-degree day. It's a little cooler, maybe around 25 right now, but humidity is always an issue. So with all the pads on, Jeff, it makes it tough.
You got to stay hydrated. You could end up losing a kilo in sweat in a game like this, so it's really important that you get those electrolytes in. I'm sure the guys might have a little fruit snack at halftime just to keep some of the energy up.
There's a look at the corporate boxes. Some of the men, fans of American football, loving the action here at Totally Workwear Stadium. It's a great setup, this stadium as well. I just got to say, I've commentated in a number of stadiums this level, and I think Queensland does it best.
Yeah, we're very, very privileged up here in Queensland, and privileged to see these two teams, clearly the class of the league, going head-to-head right now.
McClure, high snap, brought it down in time, goes through the air, down the middle, into dangerous double coverage. And it looks like number 6 wanted a flag, Kevin Borzai. Nothing there, said the referee, but he's calling for it.
Yeah, I think the throw was a bit behind Borzai in this situation, so McClure was clearly targeting him into double coverage, but I think he just threw it behind Borzai, and that's why he couldn't quite get around to get his hands on the ball.
He reckons he was touched. If we see this again, I think he thinks he was almost tackled in the air. Or pushed.
Hit a little bit, but I think it was a good no call by the officials there, because the defensive player was clearly going for the ball.
So we've got the video referee in the booth with us. He says nothing there. A big thank you to our video judge, Tim Redshaw. They've had a look. There's no passing interference. That'll be the message relayed. It's such a treat to have video replay and score reviews on this level of competition.
You get that instant analysis, instant gratification for some, instant heartbreak for others.
Indeed. And I mean, Borzai, you got to play for it, but whether he truly, authentically thought it was pass interference, we'll never know.
Well, I think Borzai is from the UK, and they're known for the
They play a
occasional
lot of
flop in
soccer
soccer,
there. Yeah.
so maybe he learned a thing or two from some of his compatriots.
Just taking a final look at it. Your screen is showing exactly what the video referees are looking at as they take a few more looks. Tim Redshaw, they're saying nothing in it. So it looks like it'll be an incompletion and third down for the Rhinos.
Still plenty of time for this offense. Minute and a half. It's third down and short. They just have to get another 50 yards to get a touchdown.
There's confirmation of that call. No pass interference. It'll be third down, incomplete. 3rd and 3 with a minute 30 on the clock.
Rhinos team and fans not happy about that one, but they'll have another chance. They still got plenty of time to move the ball down the field.
Here they go. Big Ryan Glasson at centre. Snapping to his quarterback, Hamish McClure. There's motion as well. McClure. He looks long. He goes there and has a man. Great job by Thomas Hansen. Made his way all the way across the field.
Plenty of time there to throw for McClure, so good job by the offensive line giving in time. Hansen started his route in motion, and it was really just a crossing route, just drifted entirely across the field. Wonder if the defense maybe lost him as he worked his way across, but good throw by McClure, good catch. Got a few yards after the catch to move the sticks for the Rhinos.
And stepped out of bounds to stop the clock, so that's only 7 seconds off the clock as they go again. First down, McClure through the air. Same play, same man. This time it didn't work out as the ball drops out of bounds, out of reach of Thomas Hansen.
Tried to put it over the back shoulder for Hansen. I think it was just a little bit too tall for him. Maybe needed to take a touch of power off that ball. But once again, it stops the clock. They only lost about 4 or 5 seconds. So plenty of time for the Rhinos to keep moving. See what the Ravens do. They haven't gotten pressure on McClure the last 2 obvious passing plays.
So much time, 1 minute 19. They're at the 45. Certainly enough time to get down into the end zone. And even a field goal would be good at this point. McClure fakes the handoff, goes behind the running back instead. He's got a lane out wide and gets out of bounds. They'll move the chains. He's run straight in to the Ravens bench, and there's a yellow flag thrown late.
Just a quarterback keeper from McClure there, clearly hit late. They're going to tack on another 10 or 15 after the end of this nice first down run by Hamish.
That hurts the Ravens, isn't it? Just a clumsy error, hit really late, and that came in from number 49. The Ravens just way too late.
He thought he was in bounds, but I think the replay showed that he'd already taken that step out of bounds, and it was a pretty severe hit, but Hamish popped up. He's taken a few of those before.
The referee is going to move those chains, as you said. So Rhinos march downfield. They're now in the red zone. First down and 10. They're about 11 out from the end zone.
Yeah, they might be able to get a first down without getting a touchdown here. So they could even have up to 8 plays to get the next 11 yards if they play their cards right.
Here they come. Riley Wood in at running back. McClure's going to go to the air instead. It's a pass. He's going to make a move, gets outside the pocket. Got a man into the end zone, charging Cameron Young. And the hands go up for a touchdown. Cam Young muscled his way through.
Good job staying poised in the pocket for Hamish McClure. He had a lot of time, drifted to his right. Good job by Cam Young continuing his route. Once you see a quarterback getting outside of the pocket, whatever route you're on, you just have to keep running, getting close to the quarterback. Really good job by Cam there, staying engaged, and a good throw. Good second effort, too, once he caught the ball to push through the goal line.
The catch and turn, perfect. Here comes the point after touchdown. They've been perfect so far. High snap, wrangled it in. Oh, and it's off the top post. No good, said the referees.
Had trouble with the snaps of the Rhinos. That's at least the second really questionable snap they've had. They got bailed out last time by the Ravens having a penalty. No such luck on the special teams unit for the Rhinos now.
An unlucky one for Ed Kokwa, who's been perfect with the kicks so far. That one bouncing off the post. and keeping the Rhinos to 20 points, 20-28. Now, that's still a one-score game if they go for 2 points on the point after touchdown, so still within reach, but they've left a minute on the clock, which is a lot of time for Jared Stegman.
Plenty of time. The way that the Ravens have shown themselves to be such an explosive offense so far, you really, as the Rhinos, would have liked to take a little bit more time off that clock. But at the moment, you're just going to have to rely on your defense, see if they can keep everything in front of them. That might be enough to get into halftime, just down 8.
So Jared Stegman, a minute 04. What can he do with it before they go into the locker rooms at halftime? Rhinos going to kick off. Cam Young, the touchdown scorer. Here he is kicking off. He does it all, as you've said, Jeff. Does it all pretty well as well.
He's the Warwick Russell of the Rhinos.
End over end ball. Easier to catch for the Ravens to return. Here they come. Gets through the first line at the 35. Drops there, and that's where Jared Stegman will take over.
He's only got to go 54 yards now in 57 seconds.
That's some good maths.
I think
Very quick.
He can do it. Well, we've seen Stegman do it. I mean, he's had a couple drives where it's only been one play and gone. So I would look for the Rhinos here to probably drop their safeties a bit back, make sure that all those defensive backs give the receivers a bit of space so they don't get burned deep.
Well, I was told by both coaches that Jared Stegman is an air threat first. So I think you're absolutely right. Get those safeties back. That's probably what they're going to do. Send fewer blitzes here. Try to wind that clock down. Stegman dumps it off, and
he tried the screen pass. It was deflected by the defensive lineman by the Rhinos there. Really, really risky play by Stegman, and he's lucky that the defensive line didn't tip it and intercept it. You'll see who actually got his paws on it.
Nearly picked, wasn't it? Batted down by the big man. That's big man balling.
I think that was Dean Latumahina. I think he got a hand on the ball. Really good job getting in Stegman's face, not giving him any space to get that ball out.
That's a great job. So second down, Stegman, handoff this time. Straight up the middle for a yardage gain of 6. That keeps the clock running though, so unless they take a timeout, the clock's going to continue.
Yeah, you do wonder with the delayed draw with only 50 seconds left. I'm not sure how many timeouts the Ravens have. I know they've got at least one left. Maybe they're saving it.
30 seconds. Got to get the snap off. Here comes Stegman. Pitches it sideways. This will get out of bounds and stop the clock. A good run by Chris Farrar.
They're marking him short, though. It looks like short of the first down marker. I thought he had it. He must have taken a little bit of an outside step to get to the sideline just before that first down marker. So it's going to be 4th down now.
Chris Farrar thought he had it as well. He stepped out of bounds, and now it's 4th and short. If the Rhinos can get a stop here, they'll take over, and still 26 on the clock. Anything can happen. It's a championship game, and you need to be clutch in those situations. At the halfway mark.
Looks like the Ravens will punt it. They don't want to take the chance.
Interesting choice. What do you think of that, Jeff?
Well, if they get a good punt off, then you're forcing the Rhinos to go the entire
it's a bad
length of the
snap
field.
as well. Yellow flag on the play. The punter's going to run it. And he's going to punt it. It's only gone about 20 yards. Lands at the 35, the 45. And some sledging coming from the stands here. We apologize for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting decision, Kate. I'm not entirely sure if he just didn't get that kickoff early on enough because he was thinking about running it. It looked like he had half a second. Looked like he might have tried to run for the first down and then really late tried to boot it.
Well, it could have been a trick play. Maybe that was all designed. Nevertheless, false start, and that penalty is declined. So Rhinos take over. 15 seconds on the clock. First half. They are down 8, which can be a one-score game. And look, one throw by this quarterback, Hamish McClure, can get you almost there.
And I think they've got at least one timeout left. I would imagine you probably got about 2 plays here if you can stop the clock. Most Gridiron plays last about 6 seconds. Now, on some longer routes, maybe it's a little bit longer, but you would hope they've got at least 2 plays, maybe 3 if they play the cards right.
Great analysis by Jeff McGoodwin. Hamish McClure, blitz coming, had to get rid of it, and does! Receivers caught inbounds though. Max Shatler caught it. The clock's going to continue to run. They need to get the timeout. They do. Looks like they've taken a timeout.
I think he just stepped out. I think they're going to stop the clock. Caught it inbounds, was not hit, so managed to step out himself and stop the clock.
Well, I think they're going to hurry up because they don't want a video review. I thought his shoulder was down inbounds there. Nevertheless, here they go. 9 seconds on the clock. Hamish McClure steps inside himself. Oh, he's going to get dropped. He evades the tackle, gets it off sideways, juggles it, and now Riley Wood's on his way downfield. And that's run out of time. But Riley Wood made it exciting for a moment, didn't he? That'll be the first half in the books, Jeff. Wow. Edge of our seats here. What have you liked about it so far?
Well, the pace here has been really thrilling. Anyone watching at home, this is a high-scoring affair. Both offenses clearly have done their homework, and they're getting the ball swung around to the receivers on the outside, getting good runs up the middle. Exciting effort by the Rhinos there at the end. It looked like Hamish wanted to chuck it deep, but I think the Ravens had him, so he tried to dump it off to Riley, who couldn't quite break every single tackle as time expired.
And our officiating crew have a little chat. They'll take a break too. We're going to play the interviews that I did with both coaches earlier on, and then we'll take a short break for halftime. So stay with us. Sun Bowl 40, second half coming up. I've got Will Saxby here, coach of the Brisbane Rhinos. Will, massive game today. What does your team need to do to get up over the Ravens and get that trophy?
We need to play our level of football, and we need to play our football. Steering away from sort of reactionary offense and a reactionary defense is really control the game with what we do well, which is our vertical offense. You know, we can pass the ball well, so we need to steer into it. We've done it before on them, but we can also run the ball very well, and we've shown that the other week.
And speaking of passing the ball well, your quarterback, Hamish McClure, he's one of the best stars in American football, not only in Brisbane, but in Australia and nationally. Tell us what makes him so special.
Hamish this year has actually performed one of the best I've ever seen from our quarterbacks. So he actually played at the University of Nevada, and his dad's a football coach, so he's come from a pedigree of football and understands it on a good level. And so he was brought in this year to assist me as a first-year head coach, and never done OC before, and he's elevated the level of which we can do things because of his ability to be able to put the ball in spaces that you're not going to get from an Australian. He's going to be looking very good tonight. There's a few tricky things we've got drawn up for him to really keep the Ravens defense guessing of what's happening.
And how much would it mean to you as your first year as head coach of the Rhinos to really bring that trophy home to the club?
It'd be pretty cool. It'd more so mean a lot more to the club than anything, and the guys that are on the squad. There's some people on this team that have lost sort of 12 Sun Bowls. I've lost 5 to these guys alone, and I sort of don't really like losing.
No one does.
I kind of want to keep winning, and I want to carry it through. This is sort of our best season we've had in a long time, and I want to finish it exactly how we've done it this year.
Well, there you go, coming through as the underdogs, the Brisbane Rhinos up against the Ravens. I've got Pete Brewer, head coach of the Ravens here today. Pete, you've been coaching for more than 10 years here in Australia. What is so special about your Ravens?
It's the club we have and the camaraderie, the culture that's here. I think over the years it's built into a family as opposed to a team, and people are here. We're part of each other's kids' birthdays, and we're part of each other's weddings, and it's become a family as opposed to just a sport that we play.
And that family seems pretty well connected, but also very successful. You've had a number of Sun Bowls in the previous years. You're really coming in as probably the favourites for this game. How do you ensure, though, that you take home the trophy?
Well, I don't want to say we're the favourites. We've lost to this team, and we've lost twice this year, which we are the second seed. But I think the preparation and trusting the process. I mean, we're very lucky. We have a lot of experienced guys that have been here before, and we've had success in these games. So really relying on the process that we've built and the team we've built, and lean into that for a game against a quality club.
Now, tell us about your quarterback. I know the Rhinos think they've got the quarterback that's the star of Brisbane, but your man is pretty good.
Yeah, Jared Stegman's been arguably, well, he has been the best quarterback in the country, Australian player for years. He represented Australia as the Outback QB years ago in Canton, Ohio, and played for me in the Sun Devils, as well as played overseas, semi-pro in Germany and Turkey. So he's a very experienced player, great leader, and someone who's been a threat in this league for many years.
Well, it's going to be a huge offensive battle, a lot of electric plays. We can't wait for it. Stay tuned, Sun Bowl 40 coming right up. night so far here in Totally Workwear Stadium at Brisbane. Sun Bowl 40, half of the game is in the books, and we're about to enter the second half with the scores at 28-20. The Ravens, they're chasing their 6th title in as many years, and the Rhinos want to be the first ones to unseat them. Kate Orman alongside Jeff McGoodwin. We've been calling the action so far. It's been absolutely electric, Jeff, but the Rhinos have been chasing the game. What do they need to do this second half to get back into it?
Well, I think the first thing is they need to get pressure on Stegman. He has been very comfortable in the pocket. He's managed to get the ball out pretty quickly, really hit some deep shots. I think they got pressure maybe the first drive of the game on that 4th down when they blitzed a couple of their linebackers, but I haven't seen a lot more of that throughout the game. Maybe they're not trusting their defensive backs as much, or maybe it is just Stegman absolutely taking over. They don't want to risk him running the ball.
And you had some insider information earlier today. You went into the locker rooms and had a chat with some of the players. And what was the vibe and the energy like in that Rhinos locker room?
They truly believe that this year is a different year and that this team is a different team. And some of that I think you could attribute to getting Hamish and making sure that he is really helping out with the offense. All of our viewers hopefully would have heard that interview you had with Coach Saxby. And Hamish has really helped design the offense, design plays, help Will out, really putting his footprint on this team. And so I think that's where a lot of their belief comes from. And Hamish is a bit of a religious guy. He really told me before the game, this is all going to be in God's hands. So he's got a lot of faith, and it looks like the Rhinos have a lot of faith in him.
Saxby, first year at quarterback here for the Rhinos, and has really turned things around. Their fortunes not as good in previous seasons, but this year, well, they've already beaten the Ravens once, and I think that brings a lot of confidence to the group.
It does. And the fun thing about that game is it was an absolute torrential downpour. I think by the end of the game, the players were, up to their ankles in water, and that changes the strategy for both teams. Both teams ran the ball a lot in that game. You've seen tonight, neither team has really committed to the run game a lot. They've mostly tried to air it out. And so I think they're probably both happy that the weather's cleared up, because they both have tendencies towards the air, and that's how it's played out tonight.
Well, we thought it was going to be a battle of the quarterbacks, and that's what it's turning out to be. It's certainly been exciting. Already 48 points on the scoreboard. Ravens still warming up. Rhinos in the huddle, just moments away from the second half kickoff. There's a look at the Rhinos crew. My mistake. Will Saxby, head coach, and his first year as a head coach, he's led the team all the way to this championship. As for the Ravens, coached by Pete Brewer, you heard from both those coaches at halftime. And what did you take away from that, Jeff?
Well, both of them were clearly effusive in their praise of their quarterbacks. I thought what was interesting was the Ravens coach really talking about their culture and how their culture has allowed them to be as successful as they have been. And you wonder, going into the second half, for a team that has been there before, is that culture going to be the glue that continues to hold them together and maintain that edge over the Rhinos over the next 24 minutes?
It's a winning culture, and there's something about the Ravens that you just can't step away from. They're leading this game. They've led the entire way. It's made it hard for the Rhinos, who really do come in, I'd say, as the underdogs. I know they beat the Ravens earlier in the season. They are the top seed, but I think the momentum has been mostly with the Ravens, and that's been huge. There's been a couple of plays taken back by penalties for the Rhinos that dampened the spirits. It'll be about how they come out of halftime with a refreshed mindset.
Sometimes you do just need that little bit of break, clear the mind, get some reinforcement from your coaches, and possibly even change up some tactics. So I was talking to the defensive coordinator, Connor Willis of the Rhinos, before the game, and he said it's going to take a full 48 minutes, and we expect them to be passing the ball, so we have to get our defensive backs ready. It'll be fascinating to see what the Rhinos come up with, but they are going to get the ball first to start the second half, so we'll see what Hamish and the offense can do.
There's a quick look at our officiating crew, referee Andrew Calvary and Nigel Law, the umpire. And you'll also see touchdown photography running around on the sideline, American Football Queensland's top photographer, as the Ravens step up to kick off. Second half championship game, 2024 season comes down to the next two quarters. Here it is, deep into the middle lands at the 10-yard line. It'll be returned by Calder Shanks. He's already had one huge return. He's dropped this time at the 30. And what do you know? There's a yellow flag on the play.
There's a perfect correlation between good returns from Calder Shanks and penalties called on.
It's such a shame, though, Jeff. They've been so good.
We'll have to see what the penalty's for. It was thrown in quite late as well, Kate, so it might have been after the play, normally when it's thrown in late.
Special teams will come off the field, and the officiating crew will decide where they're going to place this ball. It should be at the 30-yard line, but it looks like it's a penalty on the Ravens, in fact.
Yeah, hit in the back. That's a 10-yard penalty, so the Rhinos will finally get a benefit from one of the penalties on special teams here.
So that takes them to the 40-yard line. That's where Hamish McClure will set off his offense. Calder Shanks, one of the more explosive players, a wide receiver, a kicker, and a returner. Plays every single position on the field almost.
Does the offense inside and out.
Here they go. Handoff first to Riley Wood, who gets through the middle and stopped it right about the line of scrimmage.
That was a good play by both defensive ends. They crashed down and got inside, didn't want to give up anything to McClure, and so Riley Wood really just had nowhere to go. Excellent job by the defensive line there. It'll bring up a 2nd and long for those Rhinos.
Riley Wood's been good so far, comes from a rugby league background and was a Queensland rep in 2023. He's known as one of the best running backs in the country, so if you're stopping him, you know your D-line's doing well. 2nd down here, goes outside, gets a block, steps inside, and just a gain of 3.
Yeah, another wide receiver screen to Borzai from the outside, his favorite target. Good job of the defense staying home. The wide receivers couldn't quite block as hard as they needed to for as long.
Yeah, Borzai made a great move first step, but these Ravens defenders are coming down so fast from the 2nd line. Those defensive backs have been playing well all game, really not allowing too much on the edges.
You wonder as well if this is 2-down territory for the Rhinos.
3rd and 6. And Kevin Borzai through the fingertips. He had a lane all the way to the end zone, and he'll hang his head. He'd really love to get that one back.
That is 6 points for free, and I know Borzai is going to rue that one, but I'm sure he will get other opportunities based on how this game has played out thus far.
Disappointing for the Rhinos offense. They bring out the special teams, and they're going to punt. So still 8 points down, still a one-score game.
It almost looked like Borzai wasn't sure which way he wanted to catch that ball, with hands in front or hands behind, and as a result, he hesitates his loss.
Here comes the punt. High into the air by Fletcher Patterson, and that's out of bounds. Is it out of bounds on the full?
I think
Looks
it's
like
about
it.
the 15-yard line there. So managed to pin them deep. Generally, anytime when you punt, if you can get it inside the opponent's 20-yard line, you'll take that as a win, because if it goes into the end zone, it's a touchback and they start at the 20. So I think the Rhinos will take that as a win.
It's a skill that many players bring across from rugby league. In fact, the 40-20 kick, getting it outside and pinpoint to the sideline, a crucial skill and underutilized often in the American game. But here comes the offense for the Ravens. Jared Stegman at quarterback. First plays a handoff run, gets a few yards and dropped at the 25-yard line.
Yep, just a bit of a stretch run to the outside there. Decent gain on 1st down. He ended up getting 6 yards, so good second push after the running back got that first contact by the defensive line. You almost wonder if the Rhinos are just really staying back looking for the pass, and that might open up the running attack for the Ravens in this second half.
Jared Stegman, 2nd and 5. Fakes a handoff, goes down the middle to the tight end, but it's dropped. Incomplete. Robert Corcutt had it and lost it, and really good coverage by the defense.
Yeah, it was a good play call. Car cut, just a bit of a slant, play action. Tried to suck in those linebackers to find some space underneath. We'll see if we can get it on the replay. But yeah, unfortunately, just a drop. I think he had it in his hands, and there's contact by the defender, and couldn't hang on. Bring up a third down.
3rd and 5 at the 25-yard line. Ravens 1 score up. Jared Stegman, that's a nice ball, but nobody home. Slung it to halfway, and that'll be 4th down. They'll have to bring out the punting team.
He wanted Warwick Russell on a deep post there, but there was double coverage. Russell complaining, I think he thought he was held or at least slowed down so he couldn't complete his route. But no flag thrown. Contact must have just been incidental, and yeah, it'll force the Ravens to punt here. So starting off back-to-back punts for both teams.
So a quick 3 and out for the Rhinos and a quick 3 and out for the Ravens. What was an explosive offensive battle, now a defensive grind. Here's the punt from the Ravens, trying to earn some territory back. Low snap, came off the bounce, and the punter's gonna run it himself. Is this a trick play? No, he'll punt it anyway. It's gone high into the night sky and comes down at the 40-yard line. That's a punt of about 10.
That is caught by the defensive backs coach for the Rhinos. Graham Spur was once the president of the club, played for the team. Trying to show that he still got it even at the ripe old age of, well, I won't say what, Graham.
The crowd loves it as well. That's the Rhinos sideline, and yeah, he received a big round of applause and a cheer. But that punt really had so much height, no depth, starts the Rhinos offense. The Ravens turnover, and the Rhinos will start at the 40-yard line, or 35 even.
Great starting field position. We'll see if Hamish and this offense can take advantage.
McClure. No running back. He's going to go himself, but he's dropped. It's a great tackle made by Shelvin Shand of the Ravens.
Yep, design quarterback run there. Hamish tried to just give a little bit of a shoulder shudder to the outside to see if the defense would bite on it. The defensive line stayed home, and as a result, Hamish could really only pick up a couple on that first down play.
Shelvin Chand, a Sun Devil player who has a motor that never stops, constantly making plays for that D-line for the Ravens.
Showed it on that play.
Quick throw out wide. 2 blockers out in front, but the chase down, excellent by Jack Capewell of the Ravens. Gain a couple of yards.
That's Borzai again.
3rd and short.
I think they're giving him the first down on that, Kate. He must have just lunged over the first down mark. Good job by Borzai. Another wide receiver screen. We've seen this quite a few times by the Rhinos tonight. They'll set up with trips, which is 3 wide receivers on one side of the ball, throw it out to one of them, and have the other 2 just block and find a hole.
So the Rhinos continue. They get a first down, the first one of this second half, starting at the 25-yard line. Into the red zone now. And Kevin Borzai loves it, pointing the way they're going.
So we have a quick stop. Apparently there's a drone out over the field over there that they're going to ask to move. I don't know if you can see.
Well, it's not our drone.
Almost looks like a UFO in the near distance.
Aliens exist.
It's above
Try and
the
get a shot of it.
goalpost.
Someone really wants to watch this bowl game. Couldn't get a ticket. It's packed house here, Jeff, so maybe sent the drone in.
They must have lost the link to the live stream, unfortunately, Kate, and decided to take matters into their own hands.
Well, and there he goes too. He's stopped for a moment, the drone, and the crowd are wondering what's going on there. Looks like a UFO, doesn't it, as he said. Sticking around. Green flashing lights. Someone get a message out there.
This is about the only thing that could slow down the pace of this game right now, Kate. Both teams have been marching back and forth down the field. Takes an extraterrestrial to...
We're told we can't play until that drone is gone. There's something in the rule books of American football here that say no drones are allowed interfering with the play. It is coming down. Looks like it'll be dropping to ground. It's coming to land in the end zone of the Rhinos, and it might just shoot away. Running some interference for the Ravens, perhaps. It's not doing a great job of hiding itself in that tree, though. And off it goes.
Pilot, if you're out there, please do land the drone if you're listening to us right now.
And lands in the car park. So dropped for a loss, the drone in the air, and the Ravens and Rhinos take the field again. That is about one of the most interesting stops in play that I've seen. Never seen that before.
Well, hopefully it gives both teams an opportunity to take a deep breath once again, get some water, stay hydrated on a warm night, and get ready to go out there and start smashing them again.
So drone interference didn't work out for the Ravens. The Rhinos come back on the field. First down and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They are taking their time getting to the line.
Hamish McClure, the athletic quarterback. Handoff. Riley Wood. No, it's a pass instead. Pass play to Cameron Young. He's got space in front. Stiff arm and barreled to the floor. In the end, dropped at the 10-yard line.
That was a risky throw by McClure getting it out there, but great job holding on to the ball by Cam Young. The defender was right there in his face. Let's see if we can see it on replay. And then he just spun around to get away from that defender, found some space, got a little bit of help from Schlatter on the block. And then once again, another spin before he's finally brought down by number 52 by the Ravens, Jack Capewell.
Really athletic Cam Young, isn't he? 2 stiff arms there, beat about 3 tackles before he was finally brought down at the 10-yard line. First and goal for Hamish McClure, who goes straight up the guts, and that's batted away just in time. The defense by Alex Redgewell of the Ravens stopped a touchdown there.
Yeah, just a skinny post right up the middle. Looks like the ball might have been a little bit low. I'll be curious to see if we can see if it was deflected. It was deflected by the defense. I think he got a fingertip on it.
Just a fingertip, just enough to redirect the ball.
That is all it takes sometimes. As a receiver, you're trained to keep your eye on the ball, but if it changes directions about a foot in front of you, it's awfully tough to continue to make that catch.
So second and goal for the Rhinos, chasing the game. Hamish McClure is going to get outside himself, straight through and to the end zone. No signal yet. He hit the corner pylon. The referees are discussing whether he went out of bounds or got over. As many of the watchers will know, you've got to break the plane with the ball.
Yeah, he got a good block too. Couldn't see quite who it is. It's got to be one of his receivers. Yeah, 86 Tom Hansen really pushed out. Yeah, I think his left foot went out.
If you step on the line, that's considered out in American football, and I think the white paint did get on the edge of his toe there.
Very close, but excellent effort by McClure. Good job by Tom Hansen, really clearing space out as a receiver on the outside. Receivers are taught you don't just catch the ball, you got to block and do your job as well.
So that was enough to get the first down, which was inches away. It'll be first and goal. Again, 4 downs to get through. Handoff to Riley Wood. He can't shovel his way through. The Ravens stand tall. Second down and goal.
Yeah, risky play trying to spread out a defense when you're only a yard out, because the Ravens really could just play man on all of those wide receivers and bunch the box and really make it difficult to find some space. We'll see if the Rhinos don't come out with a different formation.
If I was Riley Wood, I'd be saying, run it back, coach. I want this. Hamish McClure runs it himself. Shovel pass off to Wood, and he's dumped again. Impressive tackle by Joshua Perrin. And it looks like he saw.
I think Wood got clocked. I hope it's not a lower body injury. Excellent form tackle, staying low, though, by the defender.
End over end, just straight onto his head. Probably rattled him. Landed on the helmet and shoulder and went over the top.
I think that's Josh Perrin on the tackle, just getting low enough. You're taught the low man normally wins those battles, so excellent job by Perrin staying low. Riley couldn't quite get around. Now it'll be 3rd down and about 2, I think, for the Rhinos offense.
Yeah, they were dropped for a loss there, so 3rd and 2. I'd say it's 4 down territory, though. Chasing the game against an explosive Ravens. Need 6 points minimum.
Gone up the middle, gone to the outside. Let's see what they do here.
Here goes the pass play instead. It's dropped. It's incomplete in the breadbasket and dropped by Thomas Hansen, who would love to get that one back.
Normally sure-handed. It looked like the ball got a little low when it came to him. Just a quick out.
Oh, you got to catch that, though.
Yeah, hit him right in the numbers. He's not going to be happy about that one. Good play call, good quick out, perfect throw. Just need to execute.
So it's 4th down territory, as we mentioned. 4th and 2. Nothing's worked out so far. Surely you get a big man in to run it. Looks like they will.
They've got their 2 biggest running backs in the backfield, Lennox and Gira.
And he'll take it himself, Hamish McClure. Can he get to the pylon this time? Hands go up. Touchdown, number 7, Hamish McClure, the quarterback from the University of Nevada, shows why he is one of the most athletic in the game, and there's a flag on the play.
After the play, I think they're going to get flagged for excessive celebration here.
The referee is going to bring in the video judge, and it looks like he hit the pylon with the ball, and we're listening to the video judge right next to us there, watching what you are seeing at home as we replay this time and again. The ball hit the pylon. He did not go out, and it will stand this touchdown.
Great job by McClure. Great lead block as well by number 22, Lennox Samoa. That's the 2nd time this game he's been the lead blocker.
So pylon has been reset. Rhinos get 6 points, and it looks like they'll go for 2 as we expected. They've got the big man in, number 22, Lennox Samoa. It won't be a handoff. He'll use him as a blocker instead. Yellow flag on the play, but Hamish McClure gets into the end zone. If this stands, they'll be all tied up in the Sun Bowl at 28-28.
Yeah, we got a penalty on the defense. They'll decline it. Great job by Samoa on the lead block, and Hamish actually cut that back. He didn't even follow his lead blockers. He just cut back, found some space to tie up that game.
Game on! Sun Bowl 40 just got really interesting. 28-28, we're all tied up here.
This is
the fans are biting their nails.
It's exactly what you want, Kate, from a final. The 2 top teams showing their class back and forth. This has been a fun one. I think we're going to be in for a great finish.
So the Rhinos are up on their feet, and if you didn't believe they could do it, now you might seem and start to understand why the belief is so strong in this team. Big smiles on their face, and we've spoken about how momentum can change games, especially in championships. The momentum feels like it's with the Rhinos now. Cam Young to kick off.
Big catches, big legs, another deep kick for Cam.
And a big boot on Cam Young. That's gone straight through the pylon, and in fact, it would be a point after touchdown if it had been kicked from the ground. So the Rhinos leave the field. Ravens offense take over. Jared Stegman wants to pull back the lead.
Yeah, we'll be curious to see how the Ravens respond. They came up short on that last drive, got to the 3rd down and very, very short, and chose to punt it away, and obviously gave the Rhinos an opportunity. We'll have to see. What they were doing really well that worked in the first half is keeping the ball in Stegman's hands, letting him choose to throw on the outside or run up the middle, and then obviously some of the deep bombs in the corners when he identified that his receivers just had single man-on-man coverage.
For the 6, Pete, Jared Stegman, handoff first. Couple of yards gained. In the end, brought it down at the 35-yard line.
I think that was Davy Martins, the linebacker and D lineman, played in Serbia before he got to Australia. Just got in low, got the shoe top of the running back there to slow him down enough to stop him for about a 2-yard gain.
Griffin Roberts in at running back now. A little change of players. Sends it out wide. This is that swing route, and it's Bones once more. Warwick Russell taken out at the 30-yard line, a gain of 5.
Excellent job blocking there by the outside receiver to give Russell some space. Once you get him the ball, he generally knows what to do with it, and he showed his experience there, getting just enough for that first down.
So it was a first down. As you say, they move the sticks. Down to the 32, in fact. And Stegman keeps the offense rolling. Fakes the handoff, goes himself, makes a move, gets past one tackle, and dropped at the 40-yard line. Gain of 7.
Good job keeping it there. Stegman had the option to hand it off to the running back, chose to find a lane, found a little bit of a seam on the outside of the defensive end. Val Tetamonte, the safety, came up, tried to make that first tackle, but couldn't. Good job by Stegman getting past that first wave and getting 8 yards on first down.
Powerful player at center is Matthew Olay, one of the team captains, been playing really well so far. Handoff faked again. Stegman meets the wall of the Rhinos defense, but it looks like they'll get the first down. And the referees will move the chains once more.
That was Gridiron right there, though, Kate. Unstoppable force meets immovable object. Good job by Stegman, getting just enough to move the chains again.
So Stegman conducting the offense and utilizing the laws of physics. Ravens on the charge. He's got to get out of the pocket this time. Shoots it downfield, has a man. They get around. Zach Perrin dropped at the 40-yard, just shy of the first down.
Good job by Stegman keeping that play alive. He found the pressure. I think the Rhinos were blitzing one of their linebackers who came around from the outside. So Stegman rolled to his right, found some space, stayed patient, hit his receiver who was just doing a little curl route and almost got enough for that first down.
Second down and short. They might take to the air given they've got a couple of downs. And there's a change in the call at the line of scrimmage. This is where Jared Stegman shines. Conducting his offense like an orchestra. Drops back to throw. Does throw. Sends it left. Has Robert Corcutt, the big tight end, on the sideline.
He's done that quick out probably 5 or 6 times tonight. It's just 7 or 8 yards. He's such a big target. A bit of a timing route. Good job by Stegman getting the ball out there. Watch again on replay. And he stayed on his feet too, even after the hit by the defensive player, because Corcutt's a big body. He's tough to bring down.
Large and athletic body as well. Moves really well for a man of his size. They're at the 35, the Ravens on the march. Stegman gets outside the pocket, stops to throw, gets it to a man, tight coverage, but the catch is good. Robert Corcutt receives again. There's a yellow flag on the play.
Looks to be a personal foul. Stegman really hesitated. Looked like it was a bit of a play design in which he was supposed to hesitate, get the ball out to Corcutt, that big target. So that's what's called ineligible man downfield. That happens when you have an offensive lineman who is expecting to be a pass blocker, but then ends up crossing the line of scrimmage once he thinks the quarterback is running with it. An offensive lineman, you really can't go past that line of scrimmage if it's a pass. If it's a run, you can go as far forward as you want. You're trying to create space. But in that situation, I think it was that hesitation by Stegman might have confused one or two of those linemen.
Great explanation by Jeff McGoodwin in the box alongside me, Kate Allman, the voice of American football down under. Handoff. No, it's a fake. Stegman goes himself, marches his way through to the 25-yard line, and he's dropped, but there's another yellow flag on the play. What could it be this time?
Could have been a hold. Keeper. You feel like he just wants the ball in his hands in these situations, Kate.
Well, he's so athletic. Why wouldn't you put it in his hands? You know, played around the world, but I feel like you can overuse that quarterback run, the design run, and use time and again, and I think the Rhinos defense is starting to sniff it out. 2 minutes left in the third quarter. All tied up in Sun Bowl 40. Stegman, first and very long. He's going to run to try and make up some of that ground. He gets back to within 10 of the first down. So I'll make it 2nd and 9.
Good decision by the quarterback there. He had plenty of time. Obviously didn't see anything he liked in the secondary, so good coverage by the Rhinos, but that did leave a lot of space underneath open for Stegman to run, and we know he can use those legs.
He absolutely can. This has been such an exciting game to watch in terms of quarterback play. Run, throw, pass, handoffs. Really, these are the elite level. And playing here in Australia, it's just so fun to watch. Stegman fakes another handoff, dumps it off, had to get rid of it. Here comes Corcutt. Corcutt bashes through. He's made contact with 2 and still running. Eventually steps out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
That big target, Robert Corcutt, once again, just on the quick out. Bowled over at least one, if not 2, Rhinos defenders. You'll see here, he starts out looking like he was going to block. It was a good play action. Then he just gets to the outside, blows by Ash Gardner, bowls over Jeremy Coles, who's one of the captains of the Rhinos team. Corcutt's just a big boy to bring down before he eventually got that first down. And
Kevin Borzai, the wide receiver for the Rhinos, is now playing as a defensive back in live action now. There's a handoff, and he's got through. Tyrell Butcher, running back and under-20s national team representative, has really found his pace here. Leads them all the way to the 7-yard line.
All those throws to the outside, I think, have softened up the defense. So it was really just a great handoff. Good play design to find the lane. Caught the Rhinos off guard. The Ravens hustling up to the line, trying to move quickly.
Back in live action, red zone offense now. Tyrell Butcher is back in at running back, but there's a timeout taken by the Ravens. They really want to make this call work in the red zone. What do you think they'd be saying in that huddle there?
Well, it looked like Connor Wills, the defensive coordinator, the Rhinos, is very, very ticked off. His team looked a little bit confused prior to that. Looked like one of the linebackers wasn't sure where he's going to go. Looks like coach is going to give him a bit of a stiff talking to make sure that they're really ready and set before this next really critical play. The Ravens have shown an ability to drive the length of the field just like they had in the first half.
Well, the gap that opened up for Butcher was far too wide, and I think that's probably what's being discussed here. There was an error of some kind, Jeff.
Yeah, normally when that happens, it's the linebackers are looking outside or they were distracted by the quarterback and weren't keying on that running back. But either way, very good job by the Ravens executing on this drive as opposed to that first drive in the half when they went 3 and out. They're really moving the ball well.
Well, there are some fans shaking their heads, and it might even be a Rhinos fan looking at the defense saying that should not happen. Ravens bring the big bodies back. They're going to line up, and they may even just try to shove it through here. 1st and goal for Jared Stegman and his explosive offense.
4 plays to go, 5 yards. Who else would you want to have the ball in their hands?
No one else. And Butcher is in at running back again. Motion, Stegman. follows Butcher, gets a block in front. A couple of yards gained, but nothing really there on that side. 3 yards out from the end zone.
Ooh, very, very late flag just thrown after the play. We'll have to see who the guilty party is there.
Yeah, the referee's having a conversation. I didn't see anything untoward at the end there. However, I noticed that Borzai was flat on his back. It looked to be a little sore getting up.
Sometimes you wonder if something wasn't said to a party. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the Ravens. That is potentially a drive killer. You hate to see that after the play, totally unnecessary.
So it's still second down, but they'll be marched back to the 20-yard line instead of within the 10.
That was going to be second and goal from the 4-yard line, Kate, and now they're shooting themselves in the foot. We'll see if they can compose themselves.
Huge penalty, clumsy at best. They get pushed backwards. Stegman now got a lot more room to work with, but still second down. Butcher at running back. He runs the bubble route and receives the ball. He's got the sideline. He's got to tow it in. Gets to the pylon. Was he in or out? Referee saying out of bounds just before the end zone.
I think one of the officials actually has him out at about the 10-yard line. He must have just gotten a bit too wide. Love the play call. He really got outside. Good throw by Stegman. Donovan Fain got there, gave him just enough. I think he must have just had a tippy toe out at about the 10. See if we can maybe reverse it a little bit earlier.
Interesting. It looked to be inbounds from my perspective, but they are, of course, a lot closer to the action. Never wear white shoes. It looks like you're stepping on the white paint.
Are we going to get quarter time in the third quarter? Whew.
Well, there you go. Another quarter in the books. No score that quarter. One score, in fact, 28-28 as the Rhinos claw it back. Will change ends, and my oh my, 1 quarter left. Ravens looking for the 6-peat. Rhinos hoping to dethrone the 5-time champions. Jeff, if you're to make an early call, how's this going to play out?
I think both teams are going to be putting the ball in their quarterback's hands, and it's really going to be which team can execute, which team cannot make mistakes. So we've seen both teams shoot themselves in the foot on a lot of drives with penalties. So I think whichever team can stay composed, stay resilient, stay in the moment, will end up coming out on top. And we know the Ravens have built this culture over years. They've been here before. You probably have to put your money on them. At the same time, the Rhinos really do think this is their year, and this team is different.
And you were talking to the Rhinos and the offensive coaches, and you mentioned something earlier that fascinates me. Apparently they have a playbook that runs pages and pages. They have a play for every minute, every second of the game, and they probably haven't even run through them yet.
Well, as a coach and an offensive coordinator, you'll draw up hundreds of plays throughout the course of a year. You don't always have time to practice them all, but you'll have them in your back pocket. And if you've been coaching long enough, normally there's one or two that come fourth quarter, you might just pull out in a championship game that you don't normally pull out.
So I wonder if we're going to see them now in this final quarter. Everything on the line.
You might as well empty the playbook. Both teams, they got to throw everything at each other at this point. Feels like a heavyweight bout, Kate.
It is a heavyweight battle. That's absolutely right. Stegman on McClure. One of the most exciting games we've seen in American football, Queensland. I don't think anyone's sitting down for this final quarter. Fans are up on their feet. Here comes Jared Stegman. He's going to go under center. Unusual. In fact, he doesn't. He'll step back into the pistol.
He might have just tried to draw him off sides again like they did in the first half.
Looks like he's changed the play. It's going to be a pass option instead. Straight down the middle, a dig route, and into the end zone. Touchdown by Warwick Russell. Ice in his veins.
That was an extremely difficult throw by Stegman as well. He had to split 2 defenders. Good, just a little underneath screen, not screen, slant route. See, dropped it in just shallow. Borzai turned his head. Cornerback couldn't get there. Warwick Russell, Mr. Do-It-All for the Ravens, gets it done.
Pound for pound, one of the best players in Australia. Do not make any mistake about his small frame. Here comes the kick. And it's good. That's Warwick Russell again. He scores the touchdown, he kicks extra points, and he puts the Ravens back on top.
That's a big response from the Ravens. We've seen how can the Rhinos respond at this point. That really strong Ravens culture, experienced players, Russell, Stegman, Cawcut, they've been the difference makers thus far. Really have to see what the Rhinos can do in response.
So we've just got the crowd numbers in as well, and I mentioned how exciting it is to be here for Sun Bowl 40. More than 1,000 people passing through the gates here today, Jeff. A record crowd, absolutely packed at Totally Workwear Stadium. What a turnout, and really the teams are putting on a show for all those fans. They will not be disappointed that they came out tonight.
These are the best of the best, and they've acted like the best of the best outside of just a couple silly penalties. But yeah, this is the class of the Southeast Queensland League, so hopefully all the fans have gotten their money's worth.
So Ravens go up again. Rhinos have been chasing the game all day. Gonna have to get back as well. A nice return here. Gets through the first lines. Max Shuttler dumped at the 40-yard line, but an impressive return. That sets up his quarterback, Hamish McClure, nicely.
Yeah, we've seen Calder Shanks take it most of the times, but they actually kicked it to the left side, which meant Schlatter got a chance at the ball, and he made the most of his opportunity. Ball almost came loose a little bit, too. He had to readjust. Excellent adjustment by Schlatter. He's an all-Queensland player, played on the Queensland team. Really experienced receiver. Haven't seen him a lot in the receiving game tonight, but an excellent return to give that Rhinos offense a good starting field position.
Hamish McClure takes over once more. Got to go 60 yards. Throws one out quick. And this is going to be a loss for the Rhinos, not what they want in their first play. Loss for 2.
Yeah, Hamish just tried a quick screen out to his receiver. They end up having Ravens more defenders there than either team would have thought was going to be there. Schlatter could block 7 guys at one time. Got a piece of one. Couldn't get past the other 2 or 3.
So they'll be feeling the pressure now, the Rhinos as well. They obviously come in having beaten the Ravens through the season for the first time. Here they are in the championship game. So far, the Ravens back-to-back winners. Nice ball. Gets his man at the 40-yard line. Absolutely slung it. And a really good reception made by his favourite, Kevin Borzai, #1 receiver in Sweden last year. Here in Brisbane.
That was a good throw. Bit of a late hit on McClure, but Borzai, very good depth to that route. He ran that stick route, which is more or less a glorified hitch. You run as far as you can and then stop, cut in. He got that just past the line of scrimmage. Very good depth, very good throw.
Handoff this time. Goes up the middle. Riley Wood gets to the 30. He's going to be dragged down thereabouts. And a great run made by Riley Wood. They continue this drive. I think just short, or no, they will move the chains.
2 chunk plays in a row. First throw to Borzai to get to the sticks, and then a nice draw to Riley Wood. Found space. Good blocking by the right tackle to get that defensive end completely isolated by that Rhinos offense.
Hamish McClure from the 30. They're into the red zone almost. Motion from Cam Young. McClure, design run. Oh, he's clobbered. Absolutely hung out to dry. And big 92, Adniel Thompson from the D-line of the Ravens makes a huge play.
Yeah, the Ravens were bringing 5 defenders, and when you've got a 5-on-5 matchup, there's not always a ton of space. So I would have liked to see Hamish see if he could get that ball out. We'll watch it here. You'll see the defensive line bringing 5. That linebacker came up the middle. Because Hamish did look, thought he might have had some space, but then just couldn't quite find any gaps. Great play by Thompson there.
Kept his eyes on the quarterback and just came unstuck to make the tackle. McClure. Sidearm. Got a man. Called to Shanks. It'll be incomplete. And good thing, too, because it would have been a loss.
Yeah, there's not many times where an incompletion is your friend, but in that situation, I think it is. Does leave McClure with a bit of a 3rd and long, though. See if
Got to be
manage.
careful there, too. It was almost a lateral or a backward pass, and, of course, that's considered a fumble. So they'll huddle up 3rd down and long, 3rd and 12 to keep this drive alive. You'd assume it's 4-down territory. I think most of the game it's been 4-down territory. So Rhinos got to get back 12. It's going to be a long pass. Straight up the middle. It's picked off! The Ravens have it! And they're going to go back to the 30-yard line from Hunter Harris, one under-20s national team player. In fact, it's Alex Redgewell. Alex Redgewell takes the pick for the Ravens.
He showed that he was coming in, and then he just dropped back into coverage. I don't think Hamish saw him at all, because he had a receiver who was running that post route, Cam Young. But excellent play by Redgewell, just sitting back, reading the quarterback. I don't think he took his eyes off that quarterback and made a huge play for the Ravens. First interception thrown by either quarterback tonight.
Well, championships are about big moments, and that was a huge moment for Redgewell to stand up and get the pick. The ball just too low. Could that be the game breaker?
You have to think with the experience that the Ravens have, they're going to try to milk this clock, use it up as much as possible, keep that Rhinos offense off the field.
9 minutes left in this game. Stegman in control. Handoff, they will juice the clock. Gets around the outside, gets down the sideline, and out of bounds. Terrell Butcher.
Got outside, got past the tackle of Donovan Fain, and I think it was number 3, Bailey Tuttle, that finished him off.
So they move up to the 40-yard line. Terrell Butcher keeps the drive moving. 8 minutes 52 on the clock here. Rhinos really need a stop.
Have to see what Stegman's cooked up this time.
Stegman low snap, hands off, and Butcher's going to be dropped here. Great defense. So the Rhinos needed a stop, and they got it by Marley Broom. 2nd down and long. They move back to the 35-yard line.
Broom was in there, Collins was in there. It looked like Collins was coming on a blitz anyway, so the Rhinos were trying to overload that offensive line, and they managed to get through and finally make a play in the backfield. First time they've had a tackle for loss in quite a while, it feels like.
Jared Stegman. Got to go 12. Goes himself. This will do most of that and some. He's dropped at the 42. Just shy of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and short here.
Yep, quarterback keeper the whole way. I think he had a guard that was pulling, just as they did on one of their earlier touchdowns. Good job following that lead blocker for a 3rd and 2 now here.
Stegman wants to go hurry up. Yes, the hard counts worked. Looks like there was someone that jumped early, but he's going to run it himself. Late flag in the backfield, and Stegman gets to the 1st down. We'll wait to see what the flag was for. It was dropped back near where Stegman came out of the pocket.
I think it might have even been a block in the back or a hold. Yeah, they're going to call that on the Ravens, so a fantastic run wasted by another penalty for the Ravens. Okay, we talked about which team can keep their composure, which team can make fewer mistakes. Huge mistake on the last drive by the Rhinos. We'll see if this penalty ends up costing the Ravens.
Defensive coach for the Rhinos there saying just use your head because this could be the stop they need, and the Handover to give the offense another chance. Ravens up 7. Rhinos chasing the game with 7 minutes on the clock. And it's 3rd and long.
Yeah, that defensive coordinator, Connor Willis, played football at Drake University. He was an all-conference player his senior year, really experienced coach. He was a very good linebacker there. He tried to bring this Rhinos defense ready to play here against Stegman.
Stegman drops back to throw, needs all the yards he can get. And that's great defensive play. Incomplete. And Jeremy Cowles, the defensive back for the Rhinos, makes a huge play.
That defensive line finally gets some pressure on Stegman. You can see he had to shuffle his feet just a little bit, thrown a little bit low, a little bit behind Warwick Russell, who we know can make a catch. But I think the ball was just a little bit too low for him on that one. Great stop by the Rhinos.
So it's 4 down territory for everyone, or no, it's not. They're going to bring the punter on. So they'll take back some territory, punt it as long as they can. 7 minutes, just under 7 minutes on the clock. You can see that on your screen. Calder Shanks ready to return. Here's the ball, end over end. It's dropped down and stopped at the 15-yard line.
There was a flag thrown straight away on that immediately after. You wonder if that's not some sort of procedural penalty, if that's the case. It might end up pushing the Ravens back again. Now, if I'm the Rhinos, do I make them re-kick or do I take the ball? I'd probably make them re-kick if given the option.
Interesting.
Oh, picked up the flag. Maybe there was no flag.
So they're having a conversation. Referee is still deciding whether that was a penalty. Meanwhile, the Rhinos offense are up and about, ready to go with their man, Hamish McClure.
Yeah, they declined the penalty, so they'll just take the ball as is. They trust their offense. 6 minutes, 46 seconds left in the game. Plenty of clock here. Going to be a great opportunity for the Rhinos. This is what Queensland football is all about here, Kate.
Ryan Glasson just having a few words with the referee as well. Team captain. Impressive at centre. He's going to snap the ball and give Hamish McClure and his Rhinos a chance. 6:46 on the clock. Handoff, straight up the middle. Meets the Ravens, and that's not going to do it. In fact, that'll keep the clock running as well.
Yeah, halfback draw looked like to Riley Wood, who's been obviously very effective finding space tonight, but going right up the middle has not been where the Rhinos like to play. And so we'll see. They might have just been using that as a way to soften up the defense, try to eat up some time.
Gain of 2, 2nd down and 8. Hamish McClure drops back and looking for the throw. There's a blitz coming. He got it out quickly to Riley Wood, who's dropped hard, and the helmet came off in the process. Let's check that out again because that was unbelievable. Looks like number 57, Alex Redgewell, who's playing both sides of the ball, made that tackle.
They might be looking for targeting on this one, Kate. So if you lead with your helmet going after a defenseless player, it could be a penalty.
The referees have sent it up to the video judge, who is going to be looking exactly at what you're looking at home. So as we watch this replay, just trying to check if he's lowered the head and hit with the crown. You do have to hit helmet on helmet, as you explained, Jeff. The crown of the helmet must be lowered, and so for targeting to occur, Jeff, in your opinion, is that targeting?
Well, he gets with a lot of shoulder as well, but it did seem like the head was a little low for my liking.
It's lowering the head. Yes. Yes. Yes, 57. Ravens lowers the head. So that's an indicator. And then he hits him with the crown of the helmet.
So you may be able to hear it at home. The video judge right alongside me looking for the lowering of the head and the helmet.
The fact that the helmet came off indicates he was using it pretty robustly, I would suggest.
So it looks like it will be a call for targeting, and that's a massive penalty for the Ravens. That'll be added on to the end of that run, which already had gained a lot of ground. This is the momentum they need.
I think Redwell might have just gotten a bit too excited. I mean, the last drive, he had the massive interception on McClure. I think he was probably just a bit too pumped up. Didn't get that head up where it needed to be, and yeah, it's going to cost the Ravens 15 yards after that play.
So this helps the Rhinos. They're now at the 35-yard line. Hamish McClure looking to put the Rhinos' name on the trophy for the first time in many years.
Not sure what the stoppage is here. Just making sure the ball's set. Could be a clock issue.
So everyone's reset. And we start off again with 6 minutes left. There's a pass off sideways. Nice move by Riley Wood. He's got out of space. He's got to get down the sideline. Beats another man. Finally brought to ground at the 15-yard line. What a run.
He took the lick on the last play, and he keeps on ticking, Kate. That was just a toss sweep to the left side. Got a good lead block. Hopefully we'll see it here. Number 78 to clear some space, and then just made a man miss and got to the outside. Downfield help from number 86, Tom Hansen, as a big wide receiving target. If your receivers can block for you, they can be a running back's best friend, Kate.
Massive play by the Rhinos, now in the red zone. Low snap. He's going to take it himself. Hamish McClure gets absolutely clobbered by the defensive line of the Ravens. They're stopped at the 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Yeah, just a quarterback keeper there, trying to follow his blocker on the left side. We'll see if we can get a replay on it, but he definitely got creamed. I think the biggest player for the Ravens on the defensive line just landed on him.
You don't want to see your quarterback take too many hits like that. And we know that their backup quarterback, Mitch Bradford, was injured, so they don't currently have a great backup option. There are a few guys that can throw, but really they need Hamish McClure to stay healthy. McClure fakes the handoff, goes himself, gets a block in front, but he's dropped for a loss. Huge play by the Ravens. They're up and about as Thomas Azako makes the sack.
Yeah, great individual effort there by Asako. He got to the outside, stayed in his lane. McClure, I thought, might even throw the ball when he works outside here, because I think he had a man or two, but just great open field tackle by Asako to get there, make a huge play defensively for the Ravens. What do you do on 3rd and long here now?
Yeah, I was going to ask you exactly the same thing. 3rd and long. It's a difficult proposition. Hamish McClure, he's got Riley Wood lined up at the running back position. He's going to go himself, move out of the pocket. It's got to go long, and he's got him! Max Scheller in the end zone! Touchdown, Rhinos!
You trust McClure. The ball in his hands late in the 4th quarter. Schlatter just ran a deep post. Found some space, Kate. McClure hit him, rolling out to his left. That's a very tough throw. Moving to your left, throwing across your body like that on that route from Schlatter. But good catch. We'll have to see if the extra point can even this game up.
Well, Schlatter, he's had only a couple of catches, but they've been crucial ones. He's known as the sweetest feet in the East, and he was last year's MVP. And that kind of play is why. A clutch moment. This is to bring it level. Oh, they're going to go for 2 instead. Pops it over the top. And Scheller again. Schlatter. And the Rhinos take the lead for the first time in this championship game. The Rhinos are in the lead, Jeff.
That is a gutsy play call, Kate. Hamish looked like he was going to do a quarterback keeper, which pulled the defense in, but then Schlatter just snuck around, did a little Texas route where you run outside and then come right back in, And McClure found him for the 2-point conversion to take that 1-point lead. How about that?
Well, I tell you what, Will Saxby has got to have some kind of wheelbarrow to carry his balls around. That was huge. And to take it to the Ravens defense, who have been so impressive all game, going for the 2-point rather than just stick with the safe option. They're in the lead. There are 4 minutes left on the clock. Rhinos need to hold them out now. It'll be their only title since 2005. They've lost 10 Sun Bowls. This would be a history maker. Kickoff from the All-Star Cam Young. It'll be a touchback. And the crowd is really involved now. Record crowd at Totally Workwear Stadium, Sun Bowl 40, the most electric we've ever seen, and so much on the line for these Rhinos.
4 minutes left to play. If you're the Ravens, you know you're going to trust your quarterback, Jared Stegman, with the ball. He's been in this situation before many times. Last couple years hasn't been this close, frankly. I don't know if he's sweat this much in previous years. So we'll see if he can hold up to the pressure for really the first time in the game, trailing.
Well, giving Jared Stegman the ball back with 4 minutes on the clock is the American Football Queensland equivalent of giving Patrick Mahomes the ball with a few minutes left. This is dangerous times. Rhinos defense need to stand strong.
We got a flag. Is this a delay of game? Took too long.
Oh, gee, that's costly. Jared Stegman, there was so much noise going on. Maybe he forgot to check the stop clock, the shot clock. Marched backwards. They'll start this drive at the 15-yard line. 75 yards to get back and equal with the Rhinos. And even then, they've got to score the 2-point. Goes left, finds his man Bones. Bones dropped. Huge tackle made by the Rhinos. They've really found some energy. And it was Kevin Bullseye involved in that tackle, who's played wide receiver. Here he is on defense.
Yeah, I think the Rhinos are going to be mad at themselves. Great catch by Russell, just on a little out route. Doubled up on the tackle. He might feel that one in the morning, but still, excellent job. We've got a flag that was thrown. It looks like sideline interference. I think the Rhinos might just be getting a bit too excited. And
oh, no.
We hope it doesn't cost them.
Well, they may have just received a warning. No, it'll move.
I think it was just a warning, yeah.
Okay.
They spotted it where Warwick Russell picked up that last catch.
2nd down and 2 for Jared Stegman and his Ravens. Handoff. This will get the yardage they need, and he's dropped just in time. Tripped over was Tyrell Butcher at the 35-yard line.
He had a full head of steam there. Jackson Collins made a shoestring tackle to trip him up. If he doesn't make that tackle, that could have been a 30 or 40-yard gain. Excellent job. Ravens moving the ball.
Moving the ball. Clock still moving as well. 3:20 ticking down. Big calls for the defense of the Rhinos. The Ravens want to go back to back to back. 6 times on the line. Great catch, shots dropped. Had it and lost it, Tyrell Butcher.
Yep, just that little swing route out of the backfield for the running back. Let's see if we can see it here. Like the play call, it was just a play action on the swing route. Had it in his hands, maybe just overthought it, couldn't quite totally rail it in. And he did have 2 Rhinos there to meet him if he did complete the catch.
I think he took his eyes off the ball and saw those Rhinos coming downhill at pace. That probably impacted the catch. Nevertheless, 2nd and 10. Stegman through the air finds his man Russell, who's met with the huge body and shoulder of Jeremy Cowles.
Captain Cowles lowered the boom, but still not before a great just little pitch and catch with Warwick Russell. He's a small man, but he really knows how to find space in a defense. Good catch, good job getting low. Yeah, really did take a shoulder to the face, too, at the end of that play.
3rd and short for the Ravens. What's the call? Handoff to running back. He's going to be dropped for a loss unless he can make his way out here. And that's a huge play by the Rhinos defense. Tyrell Butcher had nowhere to go.
They were bringing pressure, Kate, and it finally makes you wonder why they took the ball out of Stegman's hand in a critical play like that. The Rhinos D-line haven't gotten a ton of pressure all night, but they managed to get penetration when they needed it. Oh, but it looks like the Ravens are going for it.
They're going for it. It's 4th down territory all game. 4th and 6. 1:55 on the clock. We're under 2 minutes to go. So the Rhinos, they just need to stop. This is the championship, Jeff. Stegman through the air. Russell moves the sticks. 1st down, Ravens.
Mr. Reliable, Mr. Do-It-All, Russell. Absolutely huge play. Season on the line. If he drops that, this game very well could be over, Kate. Huge play from Russell. Gotta love the trust that the Ravens are showing in their quarterback and star receiver.
They continue the drive. 1 minute 33 on the clock. Stegman, and there's a yellow flag. Someone's jumped early.
Yeah, this is going to be a false start. They'll lose 5. Might make it more difficult, but we'll see which team can maintain their composure. Pressure's on now. 1-point game, under 2 minutes. Who can hold their nerve?
I'll tell you what, if I'm the Rhinos defense, I'd be looking at Warwick Russell, looking to double team him in these situations. He's been such a clutch player and a reliable hand for Stegman in these situations. He's lined up on the left, being pushed out wide by Robert Corker, the big tight end. Feel like something's happening here. A lot of boos coming from the crowd. Stegman makes a move left outside the pocket, goes long. That's huge.
They're going to throw a pass interference, a late flag.
Oh my goodness.
A lot
Warwick
of contact. A lot of contact by Borzai as the ball was in the air. I think he gave him just a little bit of a hip check because Borzai is a much larger player than Russell, and I think he just tried to shove him a little bit off his route. Let's see, ball in the air. A little bit of contact there.
I don't know about that. Interesting. No hands on him.
That's a critical play this time of the game. It would bring them immediately into field goal range, too. That is a big penalty. Now, I don't think it's a spot penalty. I think it's 15 yards, which will result in a 1st down.
I think they're going to bring in the video judge, in fact, to see whether that was, in fact, catchable and whether there was interference. There wasn't a whole lot of contact that we saw.
That ball really hung up in the air.
If you look at Kevin Borzai's right hand, that's probably where we're looking. And really, it was hanging around, but it was no contact until not a huge amount to see.
Maybe some incidental contact prior to the
And
ball
honestly,
really
it
getting there.
looked like Warwick Russell tripped over. Check it out from another angle.
So we'll see a huge play, critical call, obviously at this point of the game with under a minute and a half left.
It looks like his foot got hooked along Borzai's ankle and just tripped over. They're both going for the ball. No hand fighting at all. And this flag might even be picked up, Jeff.
Yeah, which would mean an incompletion and a 2nd and long for the Ravens with a minute 12 left to play.
So if this is a spot penalty, it's going to be a huge one. But the video judge has come in and taken a look. He didn't see any pass interference, so I think they're going to pick it up.
Obviously a critical call, critical point in the game. Ball was a little bit deep. It would have been hard for Russell to make the catch even if there was nobody there and no contact. So maybe that's going through the mind of the official over whether or not to make this pass interference call.
What's the rule there, Jeff? It's got to be a catchable ball, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, if the quarterback throws it 10 yards past someone, then, you know, whether there's contact or not, essentially invalidates. There we go.
So incomplete is the ruling on the field. Ravens go all the way back, and second and very long is the call. They're at the halfway mark.
That defensive coordinator, Connor, really just wanted his defenders to keep everything in front of them, That's what they need to be looking for now.
Stegman, Butcher in the backfield. He blocks. Stegman throws. Got a man. It's a new one. It's Reno Fowry. He's going to go all the way. He's got the touchdown. Reno Fowry.
He's short.
In fact, it's Zach Perrin that got there. Zach Perrin, was he short? Was he in?
I think a knee might have hit the ground.
We're going to actually get the video judge in on that one as well. Zach Perrin took it all the way to the house. He had an acre of space ahead of him run across, and the defender tried to knock it out, Cam Young. He had a knee down, it looks like, yeah, there it is.
Probably the 1 or 2 yard line, so the Ravens have another couple yards to get in, but a fantastic play, fantastic route. It was just a dig route, about a 15-yard dig route, came in, great catch, tons of space after the play. Now, we should say the Ravens are in field goal range, so depending how much
That's
they trust
huge.
their kicker,
That is,
they don't need to get it into the end zone, Kate. They could just run it up the middle a couple times if they wanted to, take the clock out of it. Now, the Rhinos, I believe, do still have a couple timeouts, so clock management could become very critical here.
so field goal range, and a field goal would seal the deal for the Ravens for the 6th time. If the Rhinos get a stop, they win the title, the first since 2005. 58 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time for Jared Stegman. Stegman. Terrell Butcher. And it's sent to the center. It's sent, snapped immediately. Pushed over the line. Are they in? And referee says stop short.
I think that was Cawcut again trying to take the snap and just bowl over people. They were successful with that on 4th down earlier in the game, if you remember, Kate. So I think they tried it again. They've had very good success, but they just couldn't quite get it over the line that time.
I think the Rhinos know what to look for when that happens. When Cawcut is in motion, they're going to be ready for the direct snap. 2nd and short.
Timeout Rhinos.
So timeout Rhinos. This is obviously going to be a crucial play for the defense.
Who can hold their nerve here? It might all come down to whether or not they can get one more stop and force a field goal attempt. How much do you trust your kicker at this point, or do you maybe even just give Jared Stegman the ball in his hands and let him work with it?
I mean, there's the option as well. They are on 2nd down. Run around with it, juice the clock, kick the field goal on 4th down, and leave Hamish McClure with very little left to get points back. That's the danger when you hand the ball over with 4 minutes left, as Hamish McClure did on the last offensive drive for the Rhinos.
Both teams got to dig deep here. You don't want to see it come down to a silly penalty or a false start or something that pushes the Ravens back. We'll see which team can hold their nerve, execute the play that's drawn up with the defense that's drawn up. I've got to imagine the Ravens will be trying to punch this one in, though. Why take a chance with the field goal when you can try to punch it in?
Here they come, the Ravens, with their quarterback, Jared Stegman, under center. He's going to try and sneak it. They get all the big men in behind, and it's a touchdown. The signal goes up by the referees. Ravens go back on top with just 39 seconds left on the clock for Hamish McClure's Rhinos to get scores back.
Gutsy call. Give it to the guy who's got you this far. Jared Stegman just pushes through. A little bit of help from the running back with a little bit of a tush push, trying to push him from behind the pile. Now, what do the Ravens do here? Do they kick one or do they go for two to try to push it to 7? Want to push it to 7 because if you leave it at 6 and then the Rhinos score, they could just kick an extra point to win the game.
Here they go. They're going for 2, like you said. It was tipped over. Did it hit the ground? Rhinos say incomplete. Ravens say 2 points. Referee hands up, and we're going to get the video judge back in to check.
It was low. I'll be very curious to see if it didn't get a little bit of grass.
It was tipped by a Rhinos player, which redirected it slightly. Oh, a bobble. Did he have control? It's all about whether he had control. It's allowed to hit the ground, but he must have control.
Looks like the nose of that football, Kate, actually did touch the ground. He didn't quite ever have it 100% in control. Have to complete the process of the catch. If he gets that arm under it, just another couple millimeters to his right, I think that's probably a catch, but looks like an incompletion.
Wow. So the proposition for the Rhinos, they've got to get a touchdown. It's all they need. Field goal won't do it. Their first championship since 2005 comes down to the next 39 seconds. The Ravens will kick off. They will need to receive.
Officials timeout.
There's a timeout being taken.
I think someone's cramping.
Medical timeout, in fact.
Yeah, I think someone's just having a cramp. It is a warm night here, humid night. End of the season. You've been training for 5 months. Really, it can all come down to this. Body can be a little bit worn down. So
Well, you do hope it's a genuine cramp as well, given the time and the situation and the Ravens being ahead. He's being stretched out.
Be curious to see if the Ravens do kick it deep here. I mean, the Rhinos have shown an ability to get big returns by both Calder Shanks and Max Schlatter, so they could try just a little bit of a squib kick to maybe make one of their not as fast players for the Rhinos field the ball, but then you do sacrifice field position. So it's often a difficult call. We'll see what the Ravens come up with.
Well, Shanks and Schlatter are lined up, ready to receive. Here it comes. It's a short kickoff. They're going to try and keep the ball. Oh, that's fascinating.
That was an onside kick
They reckon
for the
they've
win.
got it. The Rhinos had no idea the onside kick was coming. I've never seen anything like it. You do not expect that, Jeff. You thought they were going to go deep. You were calling it early. Did it go 10?
It just needs to go 10 yards. Now, oddly enough, there is a flag on the field. Maybe someone was offsides.
I don't think it went 10.
The other thing is, if when the ball is kicked, there's a player in front of the ball at the point at which contact is made, that's offsides and they have to re-kick. And it's looking like that is what happened there.
Has given the game away for the Ravens, and what was a really clever play has now turned into a giveaway.
Talk about a wheelbarrow for balls, Kate. That was incredibly risky by the Ravens. We'll see. The Rhinos will probably be ready for it this time, though, I would think.
So it looks like they're now ready for that trick. Rhinos get a little further forward. Ravens get backwards. They start the kickoff at the 35. And here they come. 36 seconds left on the clock now. Ball is in the air, and it's long this time. It's going to be returned. Can he get the blocks? Schlatter up the sideline to round about the 40-yard line. With 32 seconds left on the clock, Hamish McClure has a mountain ahead.
50 yards in 32 seconds. If you're the Rhinos, you don't want the ball in anyone's hand other than McClure. I imagine he'll be looking for Borzai, so if you're the Ravens, you might even want to double him up. This is what it all comes down to, Kate. Last drive, last opportunity. Is this going to be the Rhinos' year? They've got to prove it against all odds at this point.
It is against all odds. It would be a fairy tale finish. The Rhinos got to go halfway down the field. Hamish McClure, what can he do? Sprints around, goes long, first go. That's well out of reach for his receiver, Kevin Borseye, but that's probably the kind of thing they need to unlock the next 6 points.
Yeah, that ball was definitely uncatchable, overthrown. You wonder if he was even just trying to see if he could draw a pass interference penalty or something to try to move the sticks. It did chew up a bit of clock because of how much air got under the ball, so you have to wonder if they don't start looking for something underneath just to get McClure a little bit closer for that last effort.
Was he trying to scare the defense? Maybe make the safeties move back, stop the blitz, give himself a little more time. He's going to need it. It's going to have to be a throw.
Yeah, Ravens already lining up pretty soft in their defensive secondary. There's guys 15, 20 yards behind the ball.
Here he goes again. Another drop back. Throw to come. Oh, he's tackled for loss, and he's thrown the ball out of bounds. It'll be Rhino's ball at the 36.
I think they're going to get him for intentional grounding. So if you're outside the pocket and you throw the ball away intentionally, and if there's no receiver in the area, it can be considered intentional grounding, which would be a killer for the Rhinos because it is a loss of down.
I feel like that was accidental. The ball rolled out of his hands as he was dropped. But if it's a throw, it'll be intentional grounding, we're told.
We'll have to see. His knee might have been down as well. If his knee hits with the ball in his hand,
the clock will still run.
Clock will still run, so the Rhinos would probably have to burn a timeout in that case.
Oh, yes. He was diving. I feel like it looked accidental, but they're just checking to see whether the ball had left his hand when he hit the ground.
So he's still airborne.
And looking at this in slow motion, Jeff, I've changed my mind. I think he tried to get rid of it.
Well, I think it was a heads-up play if he's not thrown flag for intentional grounding. What I think we should not lose track of is that was an unbelievable defensive play by number 15 as well.
Absolutely.
By the Ravens. Isako, he has been a difference maker on that defensive line.
So the video judge has been in the booth checking all of those replays that you've been watching at home, and it's going to be called intentional grounding.
That's a big penalty for McClure, but you have to give all the credit to Isako there for putting the pressure on him, making McClure make a decision, and unfortunately for Hamish, I think he just made a poor decision.
So the Rhinos, the mountain just got bigger for them to climb. The Ravens with 3 fingers and a thumb on the 2024 championship trophy. Defense need to make a stop. As for Hamish McClure, they have a long way to go.
That was a massive play for the defense. McClure probably had a couple receivers if he had just stayed on his feet for a little bit longer. But yeah, it's going to come down to another extra 10 or 15 yards that I know the Rhinos wish they'd had back.
Jasper Lyrich, the defensive back, you see him on screen. He's been sprinting downhill whenever the ball gets out of the pocket. Here it comes. Oh, it's picked off! That'll do it! The catch is made by the Ravens defense, number 52, Jack Capewell. And there's the game. If this interception stands, the Ravens win the championship. There is a flag on the play, though.
We'll have to see what the call is here. It was an excellent effort by Capewell to get over there. They are having a review of this just to make sure that he came down with the catch. Got a better angle of it here. Does he complete the catch?
It looks like he came down in bounds, and that's what they're checking, Jeff, just to ensure that the catch is made in bounds.
That's an unbelievable defensive play by by number 52 there. He was reading McClure the entire time there. McClure looked to one of his favorite targets, Schlatter, on a route to just pick up another 10 or 15 yards to see if he could get some of that distance back. But number 52, Jack Capewell, Captain Capewell, with a huge defensive play.
So the referees signal the way of the Ravens. Capewell with the game-breaking pick. And the Ravens are going to go back to back to back to back to back to back. 6-time champions, Jeff. This is an historic win. The Rhinos were within reach for so long. They were going end zone to end zone. It's been absolutely electric, and unless something crazy happens now, the Ravens will take home the 2024 championship.
Unbelievable ride for both teams. A lot of back and forth. It felt like haymakers were being thrown both sides. Both offenses responded extremely well. Both quarterbacks played their minds out.
So there it is. The Bayside Ravens are your 2024 Sun Bowl champions. They didn't think they could do it. The Rhinos beat them in the season. They came back for the 6th time, searching for a 6th trophy, and they've done it, Jeff. They've done it.
Credit has to go to the Ravens on this one. The Rhinos put so much pressure on them when they took that 36-35 lead with about 4 minutes left. We weren't sure if the Ravens could move the ball, but they did. They kept it in their star's hand, and it was really that big dig route on 3rd down that got them so close, and then it was just Stegman that pushed them over there.
And commiserations must go to the Rhinos, who have come as close as any team to beating this historic Ravens team. I mean, we talk about dynasties a lot in American football, and when you're talking about American football in Queensland, it has been the Ravens for decades. Here's a look at some of the highlight plays of the game. Of course, there was that touchdown early by Chris Farrar. And from there, it was Ravens in the lead every single play. The Rhinos matched them. They went one up finally in the final quarter. That really, the Ravens too strong in the end. That play by Robert Coolcutt, he was impressive all game.
Yeah, they responded extremely well, their offense. They hit some of their go-to guys, Russell, Coolcutt, but it was Zach Perrin on that crossing route. Sorry, Chris Farrar, I think, on that crossing route that came across. That really put the Rhinos behind the sticks. One of the unexpected players on this offense making a huge play in crunch time. Really, what an exciting game, Kate. I mean, it was a heart-stopping game the entire time.
And you'll see Terrell Butcher for the Ravens coming up clutch in multiple occasions. There's Hamish McClure, who really had an outstanding game. Cam Young playing every position on the field. Just didn't quite have enough in them, the Rhinos. Stegman, with enough time on the clock, he's always going to go. There's that crossing route that you liked. Is that the one you were talking about?
Even earlier, I mean, Russell, just on that slant route inside the 5-yard line was brilliantly executed. It was a perfect ball by Stegman there.
Perfect ball, and Stegman, I mean, he just shown out. 35 years old, he's played around the world, but still absolutely one of the best. And we were talking about Hamish McClure coming in from the States, being that D1 threat, and really, Stegman, I think he had something to prove. He's proven it tonight.
Absolutely. This was a mano-a-mano quarterback battle, and Stegman got this round. It is the first round that they've played against each other. I think he was hurt for the first Ravens-Rhinos meeting earlier this year. So we'll see. Hopefully they each come back next year and we get another round of this because, my gosh, what a thriller.
What a thriller indeed. It's been an absolute blast. The Bayside Ravens are going to take home the 2024 Sun Bowl trophy. It's been an absolute thriller. Kate Allman, been a thrill calling alongside you. Jeff McGoodwin, I hope you've enjoyed it at home. We'll leave you with pictures of the champions taking home their trophy. And a big thank you to Calling All Sports Brisbane for the coverage. We'll say goodbye and enjoy the coverage. And until next year, this has been the Voice of Football. Hope you enjoy.
shut up and sit down.
I can personally say I was really looking forward to a game like this. It's what American football in Queensland is all about. The competition, making sure that the best in the state are playing off against the best in the state. So always good to see a good close game. All in saying that, my heart can't take it. So congratulations again to the Bayside Ravens, but I'll call out the head coach for the Brisbane Rhinos, Will Saxby.
Yeah, like James said, that's football. That was honestly one of the best games I've ever been a part of, and it's the kind of game that develops you as a coach and develops you as a player. Helps you see stuff that you're not normally going to see, and we encountered those situations today. Those last-minute drives with 5 seconds on the clock. That's football, and it's the only way you get better at it. So Ravens just came out on top today, and like I said to the boys just then, the coin flipped their way. And it is what it is. But they had a really good game, so I'm trying not to swear. They had a really, really good game, and they executed a little bit more than we did. And that's what happens to the scoreboard back there. But congrats to the Ravens, they had an awesome season.
Well done. I'll call out Pete Brough, head coach of the Bayside Ravens.
Big shout out to the Rhinos. We have a lot of brothers wearing white tonight, a lot of guys that we've gone against many times and played with at state level. Will, what you're doing with this club is amazing, and what the Rhinos organization is fantastic, and we couldn't be happier to play you guys. We'd play you 10 times a year if we could. So congratulations, you had a hell of a season. Hey, you were the top seed this year, you just didn't pull it out in this game, but all your heads should be high walking out of here because that was a hell of a football game. I'd be amiss not to thank families, partners, children that let us do what we do and give up our time to do this. So a huge thank you to the families, partners. The time that's devoted here, we are well aware, is away from you. And you're just as part of this championship as the guys who are in purple tonight. And the committee, Terry, Warren, my captains and coaches and leaders on this team, couldn't do this without you. This is definitely a family, and it's a top-down input from everybody, and we couldn't do it without you. And the rest of the men in purple, congrats, you're state champs.
All right. Yeah, look, once again, two great clubs, and it's fantastic to see the football. Thank you very much to everyone that turned out despite the weather that potentially looked like it was going to be a different sort of game. Can I call the captains for the Bayside Ravens out? Your 2024 Sunbowl 40 champions, the Bayside Ravens. All right, there's one more award for the night before you boys go off and celebrate. Watching tonight, this player definitely stood up, carried the team and fought really hard, and from the opening drive, sort of showed the determination in terms of wanting to win. Always a competitor, and Sunbowl 40 MVP Jared Stegman.